The Jason Gregor.
It now for England. Oh, wow.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Up and over. It is over. From the brink to the next round. Belgium squeeze through to the last 16.
On Sports 1440.
Gordon picks up on it now for England. Mutsasami getting a throw in. Harry Kane. It's Kane! Oh, no! Oh, no!
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Here's Jaylen Brown. He bends and lays on top of Cleveland. He smashes it.
Well, this Saturday is going to be a big day in sports. How you doing? Happy Thursday to you. It is the Gregor Show, as always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. It's Thursday, and you know what that means. The Daily Grand. Get your tickets, $1,000 a day for the next 20 years, or one lump sum payment over $7.3 million. PlayAlberta.ca. Also, Lotto Max for tomorrow is $15 million. I'm Jason Gregor alongside Declan Kruger. We also have Mac running things over at YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. So say hello to Mackenzie over there. We have lots and lots to discuss. Of course, yesterday was a free agent frenzy in the National Hockey League, and the Edmonton Oilers were involved fairly significantly with trades and signings, but there was no big risks as far as financially for the Oilers. There were some risks injury-wise, yes, but financially, no. The Edmonton Oilers traded away Darnell Nurse, $9.25 million, didn't retain anything. But I've been saying this for weeks. People like, oh, you know what? They're not going to get a better deal than Nick Seeler and retain money. The Oilers weren't planning on retaining money. There was teams interested. There's a shortage of defensemen. And San Jose, guess what? They said, yeah, we'll take them. We need some help on our blue line. And they got a veteran in Darnell Nurse. Meanwhile, Shakir Makhmadulin comes to Edmonton, alongside another prospect. So, you know what? It didn't cost the Oilers anything. Malcolm Doolin made $1 million last year. He's an RFA. His qualifying offer was $1 million. Nothing on his stat sheet's going to say he's going to get more than Ty Emberson. So I could see him maybe getting like to 1.1, maybe 1.2, somewhere along those lines. And the other contract that the Oilers signed yesterday, the biggest one was Ryan Shea, and he's going to join us in about 15 minutes' time, fresh off his best season in the National Hockey League. A little bit of a late bloomer. And what was it about last season that allowed everything to click for Ryan Shea, and why he feels that now can be the norm for him? So he signed after they made the trade for they traded Nurse away, for Malcolm Doolin. Then they announced the Ryan Shea deal afterwards. It's a AAV of $4 million for 5 years. Then Kasperi Kapanen came back on a 1-year deal at $2.6 million. The Oilers also signed Matthew Joseph for $1 million, Max Jones for $850. I'm not sure there's room for either one of those two on the roster because the Oilers signed Frederik Andersen to a 1-year deal, base salary of $1 million with performance bonuses up to $1.8 million. Virtually a guarantee. I would think he's going to get $1 million in bonuses because he gets $600,000 when he plays 10 games and gets another $400,000 when he plays 20 games. So that's $1 million. Then he gets $200,000 for every round the Oilers win, and he plays at least 50% of the games in that series. So there you go. They also acquired Devin Levi from Buffalo with a 7th rounder in 2028, and they give up a 3rd rounder. Not really, not much. When you look at the odds of a 3rd rounder and a 7th rounder making the NHL, and then you get Devin Levi, the Oilers didn't have to give up a whole bunch to do it, but they're going to carry 3 goalies to start the season. Unless there's an injury. But Tristan Jarry, Freddie Anderson, Devin Levi, expect them to kind of find a way. They're going to have to massage that. Aubrey, the goalie coach, along with Mike Babcock, to kind of work around, hey, how do we keep guys, keeping them fresh won't be a problem. Probably keeping them in tune will be a little bit of an issue. Now it's an 84-game schedule. It's a little bit longer. And Freddie Anderson, this is not a guy that you're expecting to start a lot of games. Last year, he started 35 for Carolina. That was the most games he started in the last 4 years. Okay? He has started 35, 19, 22, 31, 33, excuse me. That's what he is. Now, Tristan Jarry had 3 years in a row from 22 to 24, where he started anywhere between 47 and 56 games. But the last 2 seasons, he has been banged up. So he started, 29 games last year and 35 in 2025. Obviously, he was sent down to the minors that year as well. So you throw in Devin Levi, who, if you look at Devin Levi, since he came into the NHL, his numbers have gotten worse, right? He's played fewer games the last few years in the NHL. Last year, he didn't play any. He was in the minors the entire time. We'll see. Now, he's turning 25 in December, which, for whatever reason, kind of like the witching hour for goalies. You get to 25, you get to 26, and we see a lot of goalies kind of pop. Maybe it's just mentally they start to figure out the game more. It slows down. I don't know. But the Oilers took a bet, a low risk bet. They didn't have to give up a lot to get him. Anderson and Jarry, I think between the 3 goalies, they look and say, hey, 35 games, Jarry and Anderson, or maybe 30 games for them, whatever it's going to be, 15 to 20 for Devin Levi, unless one guy really gets on a run. That's kind of how I see it. There's a little bit of a risk there, no question. No question. You can't sit here and say, hey, it's a lock that the Oilers are going to get great goaltending every game. No, because we don't know how healthy they're going to be. Anderson and Jarry have recent injury issues. So that's a question. When Anderson's healthy, there's no question that he's good, right? He would be the best goalie when he's healthy. Now, how healthy is he going to be? I'm sure the Oilers, even if he gets on a run and is playing great, they're going to limit his starts. Right? They're going to do it, which is smart. Like these are low, there's always a risk, but they're lower risk. There's not long-term contracts here. Like Shea's the only guy who got multi-year deal. Everybody else on a one-year deal. And Oiler fans, there's a thing that you've been unaware of. You've heard about it. Some of you might have dreamt about it, but you haven't really seen it for almost the entirety. Now, flat cap had something to do with it. But I would go back maybe 2018, maybe. And even then, well, yeah, because the team wasn't good. But the Oilers, as a good team, this is the first time in a long time that the Oilers actually have a significant amount of cap space heading into a season. Because look at their roster right now. Their roster is almost set. And they've still got basically just under $7.3 million left. Now, Colton Dach has to sign. But what's Colton Dach going to sign for? Let's say $1.2 million. Well, Matthew Joseph's currently on the roster. I'm not taking Matthew Joseph out of Colton Dach. So he goes down because they have 13 forwards. Dach comes in. So now they're at basically $7 million. They've got their defenseman, right? Like Mock Madulin will be number 7. Okay, there's $1 million. Now they're down to $6 million. So they got $6 million caps. Even if you want to go a little bit lower, that's fine. I think the Oilers, when it's all said and done, unless they make another trade, that they'll have oodles of cap space. You don't know what to do with it. Right? And so they'll be able to carry 3 goalies because of the cap space. Because in the last few years, the Oilers had no cap space, even if someone went on IR. They're like, well, the guy goes on IR, but we don't have any room to bring up anybody else. That won't be the case this year. So the Oilers can carry 13 forwards, 7 defensemen, and 3 goalies. And if it gets to a situation where somebody's hurt for only a week and they don't want to run too thin, they just put them on IR. They call somebody else up. Away you go. Right? They don't accrue as much cap space, but considering how much they'll have, it's not going to matter. So that's probably been the best part of Stan Bowman's day was he made some moves, filled out the roster, and they still have room to maneuver. A significant amount of room to maneuver. Because if you compare the Oilers to the other, what I consider the top teams in the NHL, the Oilers have infinitely more cap space than any of those teams. Right? You look at Vegas. Now, Vegas basically has no cap space. They're going to be over once they move Alex Pietrangelo to LTIR, right? Toronto has no cap space. Florida has basically 397,000. Colorado's got 400K. Washington, Minnesota's got 2.3. Now, Carolina, they're a team you have to watch for. They got a boatload of cap space, right? They've got like $11 million in cap space. They didn't buy out Kotkaniemi. They've got 13 forward signed. They only actually have 5 D-men signed right now. So they will have to add some. So they'll probably have to sign at least 2 more defensemen. So, whether it's only $1 million or whatever the number is, they will be, they'll still come in with lots of cap space, similar to the Edmonton Oilers. And doesn't mean you'll use it all, but Edmonton owner has proven he's not afraid to spend some money. So that's where the Oilers come out. I look at Edmonton and I'm not sure they're like 100% guaranteed better, but they are better because of the cap space. So their options are better. I look at their defense. So if we just go from the top 5 D-men last year to start the season, you had Bouchard and Ekholm, you had Nurse, Wallman, Kulak, and then Ty Emerson. So there's their 6. This year, right now, on paper, you've got Ekholm, Bouchard, and Wallman. They're still there. Shea and Murphy are in. Kulak and Nurse are out. So Murphy, he kind of replaces Nurse's physicality, but he was there last year at the end of the season. But if we're talking the start of the year to the start of last year, Nurse, Kulak, Shea, Murphy. Kulak and Murphy are similar in how they play. Right? Neither one's overly physical. Kulak's a better skater, I think, than Ryan Shea. Shea might be a little bit better of a pure defender, and that's what he'll come in as. So that's where they come out. Goaltending, you've got Anderson and Jari compared to Skinner and Pickard. I think you take Anderson and Jari, right, as a tandem. And then you throw in the wild card, which is Devin Levi. So, yeah, I think they're a little bit better, but there are risks because of the injury history to the goalie. but it's much lower risks, right? They didn't go out in free agency and overpay for a small forward thinking that he's going to come in and help. But they do have room now if they wanted to make a trade or a free agent signing. Not that there's a lot of forwards out there, but what if Anthony Mantha becomes this year's Jack Roslovic? What if Anthony Mantha and his agent are like, we're going to get money, we're going to get money. Oh, it's July 2nd. And some of the teams like, man, well, now we're not going to give you the money. What if you get into late July and Anthony Mantha's like, well, I look around everywhere and I'm thinking, God, I thought I was going to get a big deal. Well, maybe I'll do a Jack Roslovic. I'll sign for 1 year, go to Edmonton, get a chance to play with McDavid or Draisaitl, or without them, put up a good season and try again. Because it worked for Jack Roslovic. Right? Jack Roslovic came here, played for a year, then he left, got good money. Victor Arvidsson. Right? Look at Victor Arvidsson. He played pretty well and earned himself a new contract. Right? He left Edmonton because he's like, it's not working for me. And then he earned his money because of Boston. But I look at Jack Roslovic, and maybe if this spreads out any longer, because I remember at this time last year, everyone's like, oh, Jack Roslovic's still out there. Oh, Jack Roslovic, he's going to get $4 million. Like, people were projecting Mantha to get $6 million. Because look at some of the contracts. Like, when I look at some of the guys who got signed, I'm like, how the hell has Mantha not been signed? But things change quickly. And all of a sudden, teams like, well, we were interested, but now we're not interested. It's kind of how it goes. So we'll see. 833-401-1440. But I do want to talk before we go. Declan Kruger. Now, there are trades. And I've seen some trades that are really head-scratching trades for me. Hello, Ricky Ray. Any Elks fans remember that one? Not a great trade. When I'm like, am I missing something? I literally had to go online and look it up twice and say, what am I missing? How the hell are the Boston Celtics trading Brown to the 76ers for a 40-year-old Paul George? Like, is there any player in the NBA who gets traded more for players than Paul George? It's unreal. Like, look at the Thunder. They're still reaping the benefits of that trade. I think they got one final first rounder from the Clippers next year. It's unprotected too. Paul George, and then 2 firsts and 2 seconds, which mean a whole lot of nothing. Explain to me in any rational reason, Declan, why Boston does this.
Well, I think there are a few things that go into this. One of them, Jaylen Brown, for as good of a player he is, in 7 of his 10 NBA seasons, he has been a net negative of a player. 7 out of 10 of his seasons, the team has been better with him off the court than on the court, including last season, where the team actually had a differential of plus 10 in regard to net rating when he wasn't on the court. And then I think the second thing that kind of plays into this is that his trade value just wasn't that high around the league, like not as high as we expect. Otherwise, there would have been a better return. The overall kind of point, though, is Philly got better, Boston got worse, but I think we have a lot of questions about who Jaylen Brown is as a player, and I think he's going to have to answer them next season.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Paul George is 40.
Oh, and not only is he 40, that's the worst contract in the NBA. Like, nothing about Paul George being involved in that contract, in that deal, makes it okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Like, if you want to trade Jaylen Brown because you have concerns about him, okay, but you just took back Paul George.
It was like he was the only one who could really make the salary work, unfortunately.
Yeah. So,
and he's bad. Like, let's not bury the lead. That's not good.
Yeah.
He's bad.
No, he's not good at all. So we'll get to that a little bit later on. Coming up on the show today, Ryan Shea, newest member of the Orders. He's coming up next. We got Landon Ferraro, Anze Kopitar. He's right here in town. He's actually at the West Edmonton Mall. He's going to join us in studio to talk about his unbelievable career. And does he have the coaching bug already? We'll find out. We got Speck, David Alter to talk some Leafs, Landon Ferraro, Livingston, David Owens on a busy Thursday edition of the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new, exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Boxing Week is back at the Brick. Don't wait until winter. Get blowout pricing now. Save 55% off sofas when you buy the matching piece. Save up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get free local delivery when you use your Flexity card. And buy more, save more. Up to $500 off select major appliances. Don't miss the return of Boxing Week, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in store for details.
From the first face-off, Sports 1440 is your home for hockey talk. With live coverage, expert analysis, and pre- and post-game shows, we bring you closer to the game. Tune in 24/7, only on Sports 1440, Edmonton's sports station.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the Power Play 24/7 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Tired of the rough ride? Alberta used to be a leader in highway planning and construction, but years of neglect and cuts to maintenance are showing. You can see it, and your vehicle is feeling it. Infrastructure can last for years with a little TLC, but when repairs are deferred, minor issues become major reconstruction. We need action and a reliable capital plan. Contact your MLA and demand stable infrastructure funding. Find out how at fixourroads.com.
A message from the Alberta Road Builders and Heavy Construction Association.
'Portions of this hour brought to you by Ewell. Helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at ewell.ca or in person in one of their Edmonton area locations. Ewell.ca, your partners in power.
Sports Radio is back. The Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.222, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Declan Kruger, Kenzie McClellan with you on a lovely Thursday afternoon. CFL kicks off another week tonight, Toronto and Calgary. Of course, Edmonton's in BC trying to remain perfect on Saturday. Also Saturday has Canada taking on Morocco at 11 o'clock Edmonton time. So a busy weekend of sports. once again, as it's time for our oil report brought to you by Go Auto. You can shop over 15,000 vehicles at goauto.ca, 73 locations to choose from, 31 different new vehicle brands, and more at goauto.ca. And we are joined now by the one of the newest members of the Edmonton Oilers. He was signed to a 5-year contract, $4 million AAV yesterday with the Edmonton Oilers. Comes over from the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ryan Shea joins us. Ryan, welcome to the show. Congratulations on the new deal, man. How you doing?
I'm great. How about you guys? Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming on. It was kind of your first time going through free agency. I don't know if you've ever been on a dating site or not, but is that how it feels? Everyone's calling you, everyone's texting you to see if you're interested. How does it work?
Yeah, I think I got a lot of texts, obviously a couple calls. Phone's been blowing up when you got a big family, big friend group back here in Boston. That's usually what's going to happen, but it's great. I'm excited for the opportunity. Obviously, I was happy that it got done pretty quickly into free agency, so the stress levels definitely went down.
So you are, I think it's, you're great, what I would call, a late developer. And there's lots of them in hockey, and more than, hockey is historically a late developing sport. And now, you were a fourth round pick back in the Connor McDavid draft, in fact, in 2017. And then obviously took a little time, went to college, and then minors. And then you got your first NHL action in 23-24 with Pittsburgh. Then the next year, 39 games. And last year, Ron, you exploded. Played the most games, 80 out of 82. You played almost 19 minutes a night. You were a plus 30 rating, which is really hard to do for a defenseman. What kind of clicked for you last year that maybe you learned in those previous half seasons the year before?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just my first year in the NHL. It was just getting used to the pace and just defending well, defending with my stick, defending with my body. But no, last year I think it was just a confidence thing. I personally knew it was in me the whole time. It was just waiting for, I guess, the right opportunity. We got the coaches before were great to me, but there wasn't a bunch of, opportunities to move in the lineup or get that certain ice time that you need to kind of showcase what you got. And then last year, our coaching staff was great, allowed me to play my game, put me into roles that I think I can help teams win in this league, and whether that's PK, defensive roles, and obviously I like to jump up in the play when it's there. But yeah, I think it was just a confidence thing to me. It was nice to show everyone what I kind of have had bottled up within me for the last couple of years.
Okay. I love that. An opportunity is a massive thing. Like you can be a good player, but if you're only getting 12 minutes a night, it's a little bit harder to show what you can do unless you're getting 19. What is it about the penalty kill that you like so well? And, you played, the second most minutes on the PK in Pittsburgh. Basically, you and Wotherspoon were the top pair guys, and you guys had the 6th best penalty kill. What works for you? What makes you a good penalty killer?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of my strengths is defending with my stick. And obviously when you're penalty killing, you're down a man. So you can't really, you're not really trying to lay the body or be too physical out there, because you got to be in shot lanes, have your stick in lanes. And I think as a group, we had a really good penalty kill because everyone bought in. Like I feel comfortable because I felt like that was my role on the team to really excel in. And I every time, obviously you don't want to be on the penalty kill, but every time we got to that point, I was excited to get out there because I felt like that was my time that the team relied on me. And I kind of like when there's a little bit of pressure or people are relying on you, because I think that's when I put my best foot forward.
So Ryan, where learning how to defend, how much of it is instinct? How much of it is just will?
I mean, I think it's just obviously instinct. You see some of the guys around the league that have incredible sticks. They read plays like no other, and I think I can excel in that in certain situations. But I just, for me, it's just a lot of it's just compete. Like I love to compete. There's no worse feeling than being on the ice for a goal, and obviously plus 30, a lot of ththings have to happen. A lot of goals have to go in the net for you. But I think that was the stat I was most impressed with and most happy about, because at the end of the day, I'm a defenseman. I have to keep the puck on my net. And when you're doing that at a pretty good rate, then I feel like you're having a successful year and you can go out of games with your head held high.
Ryan Shea joins us, a newest member of the Edmonton Oilers. And Oiler fans, listen to this. Ryan are probably fist pumping in their cars or in their office, because the Edmonton Oilers, the one thing they've talked about, they want to get better as a team defending. And you need guys who take pride in it. They added Jason Dickinson last year. They added Connor Murphy, guys who I think are more of defense first. It doesn't mean you don't want to chip in offensively. Everybody who has ever played wants to score. It's a little bit more exciting when you score a goal. But having guys who are like, yeah, I'll do that after I defend first. Did you always have that mentality, or is that something you've just kind of grown into as you've gotten older?
Yeah, I think it's just I kind of grew into it in pro hockey, because obviously in college I was pretty much played every role, played power play and all that. But you get to a point in your career that it's probably your first year pro, and you look around at these guys, there's only a certain caliber player that can play on the power play and be that offensive guy day in and day out. So I had to find a role for myself, and I thought the best way to succeed in that role, it was like kind of more defensive, puck moving, and PK type of person. And the earlier I guess I could accept that, the better it worked out for me. And obviously, I guess the teams, whether in Pittsburgh or in free agency, teams saw that and trust me in that role. And I was happy that I landed in a team like Edmonton that's they're pretty much known for winning, and they expect winning. And after playing the playoffs this year for the first time, that's pretty much all I want to do is get back to that point. So that's why that felt like Edmonton was the best spot to do that.
Right. You mentioned the playoffs, and guys, everybody dreams about it, but once you get there, it's different. What did you learn about the postseason that you feel can help you next year, and maybe next time when you get back to the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a lot more physical, but I mean that's just everyone competing. You're playing for the greatest trophy in the world, and but I just think you got to accept maybe having that a boring game, or the game that you're just making easy outlet passes, 10-foot passes, and you might go back to the bench or go back in the locker room after the game and feel like you didn't really do anything that great. But sometimes those are the most impactful games, when you're not trying to make that extra pass or extra play. And I think that's what brings a team's success in the playoffs, is when everyone's playing to their role and playing, I guess, their style, their simple games, and it all meshes well in the end.
Now, are there any teammates in Edmonton that you've crossed paths with, you've played with before at any level?
I've skated. Me and Trent Frederick have the same skating coach, so okay. I've ran into him a decent amount of times. Obviously, Jars was in Pittsburgh with me. Jake Waldman I played against in college for, I believe, a year, maybe two. And I had a lot of friends, and my brother went to Providence just as students, so they're familiar with him too. But other than that, no, it should be a lot of fresh faces. Obviously got a text from a lot of the guys, which was incredible. Just getting those guys welcoming me to the city, the team, and pretty much extending a hand if I need any help with anything. So I think that's pretty much what the older crew in Pittsburgh, whether it was Sid, Tanger, Gino, did for me, and it just makes you feel part of the family that much sooner.
Well, Ryan, there's not many guys. You make your NHL debut, and you got Sidney Crosby, and Jenny Malkin, and Chris Letang on your team, and then now you sign with a new team, and you got Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. So it's not bad cupboard of teammates that you've had early in your career.
Yeah, I mean, I would say 70% of the text messages and calls, everyone was like, you're going from Sid, Gino, Carl, Tanger, whoever it may be, to Draisaitl, McDavid, Bouchard, like all these guys, Hyman. So like, it's pretty special and something that you can't take for granted, because when I get older and I look back on my career, I can say that I played with some of the guys that probably belong on the Mount Rushmore of hockey, of our sport.
Now, Ryan, I said obviously you got a little bit of a Boston accent there. So did you grow up? Were you a Bruins fan? Who were your teams growing up as a kid?
Yeah, so my whole life's been in the Boston area, but yeah, I grew up just all Boston sports. So the Bruins were pretty big in my life growing up, and obviously they've had their clashes with some big Canadian teams, whether it was Toronto and Montreal. So it's I see how much hockey matters in the country of Canada. Just watching those guys, those teams battle it out growing up, and now being in the league, it's just I'm excited to play in a city that cares so much about the sport. Now, have you taken in a Red Sox game at the Green Monster? Yeah, probably too many to count. So if I'm going to Fenway, where is the best place to sit to watch the game? The Green Monster is great. I've done it a lot. I think you have to experience it once. It's unlike any other ballpark. I mean, I think center field's great because you're in the mix with just so many fans, and obviously it's the longest part of the ballpark. So maybe you're not gonna have a chance to catch a home run or whatever, but you see everything. It's such a great place to be and watch a game. So I would say those two are probably my favorite. Now, being in Boston, it's a great sports town. Edmonton's a really good sports town, but I'm curious. Amongst your buddies, you're getting a ton of texts, I'm sure, yesterday about signing with the Oilers. That's unreal. But how many of your buddies were texting you? What the hell happened to Jaylen Brown for the Celtics? Like, how big of a story is that right now in Boston? Yeah, it's pretty big, just because when you have a young core like that, yeah, it's sad that it got broken up. I'm not sure if everyone knows the direction the Celtics are going in right now, but yeah, it was tough to see for most of my family and friend groups. That's for sure. Ryan Shea joins us, newest member of the Edmonton Oilers, signs a 5-year deal yesterday. And now, Ryan, can you play both sides, or are you more comfortable on the left side? Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's more comfortable on their strong side. I think that's probably one of the best things I've been told about my career is just the versatility and being comfortable on both sides. I played a lot of games on the right side. It's definitely more challenging, but once you get used to it, it's just another hockey game. If you have confidence that you can play both sides, then I believe anyone could do it in the league. I'm definitely very comfortable on my backhand and just making passes from that. And yeah, I think I'm pretty good on both sides, but obviously if I had to pick one to showcase most of my skill, I would say it's probably my strong side. Yeah, and that's fair. I just ask because obviously, you know what, with multiple lefties, sometimes some guys are going to have to move over there to the other side. Lastly, the success you had in Pittsburgh on the penalty kill. Dickinson and Murphy came over from Chicago. They had the best penalty kill in the league, and those guys, kind of like you in Pittsburgh, played a ton of it. I don't know if you've had early conversations at all yet with DJ Smith, but like how quickly, especially with the shorter training camp, is the importance to get your penalty kill off to the right track, because it's been one area of weakness in Edmonton for quite some time. Yeah, I think it's very important. I mean, there's more and more penalties being called in our game in recent years. So I think it's, especially when you have a power play that's always at the top, the high end of the league, and you have high end players there, they're going to do their job. They're going to get the job done. So I think a lot of weight gets pushed onto the penalty kill, and whatever I can do to help would be great. But I think if we're all connected as a group of four, and we just try to take time and space away from some of these top guys that are on the power play throughout the league, then I think we'll be fine.
And Ryan, last one. What do you do in the summertime in Boston outside of training? What do you do for fun?
I would say, I mean, it's a great city to have summer in, but I would say my biggest thing is probably golfing. I've been a big golfer my whole life, and obviously once you get to the pro level, you work out, skate. Sometimes your day's over around 1 p.m. and there's nothing better than getting a nice round of golfing in the sun.
How's your game right now? What are you shooting? What's your handicap?
My handicap is just below a 5 right now, so it's a little lower than I would want to. I haven't had a ton of luck in the matches with my buddies, but we've won a couple in the last week or so. So can't be mad about it.
Okay, so if we're going to play and we're on the course with Ryan Shea, I know you told us, hey, best part of your game defending with your stick. What's the best part of your golf game?
I would say probably anything that has to do with a little bit of touch or hands. So anything within 100 yards, I would say, is the best part.
Okay.
Anything to get me down to my wedges, I'll take all day.
Okay, I like it. Confidence. Awesome. Well, Ryan, congratulations on signing a great contract for you and your family, and coming to Edmonton on a team that's obviously looking to go back deep in the playoffs next season. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
There you go. That's Ryan Shea, newest member of the Oilers. I don't know. Obviously, it's different, but there's just something about the Boston accent. It's pretty awesome. I didn't want to do it. I don't know him well enough, but as I get to know him, I might have to get him on there, just rolling the R's. It's a classic. So, good golfer. But think about it. Since Dan Bowman's took over, there's kind of a clear process of certain players he wants. He wants guys who have a defense-first mentality. Dickinson, Murphy. They obviously added now Ryan Shea. Now, that doesn't mean every player, right? They've obviously traded for a guy that they thought could be a shooter in Howard, right? He brought in Podkolzin's being a hell of an addition, Kapanen. But in the last year, I think he realized, hey, we need guys, because lots of guys want to do it, but you need guys who love doing it. And then the other guys are more likely to do it. The Oilers still got to be an offensive team, don't get me wrong. But when you got more guys who take pride in limiting the opposition scoring, because that's been a problem in Edmonton. Scoring's not a problem in Edmonton. Penalty kills, being a problem. Outside of the miracle run of 2024, it's been a problem. The last 2 years in the postseason, it's been awful. 67 and 50%. So you bring in Shea, now you got Dickinson and Murphy all year long. On paper, their penalty kill should be better. We'll see if it happens on the ice. So we'll talk more on that. We got a lot of text flying in, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. I got a new set of Invisalign, and man, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like I'm just spitting all over the place, because anybody who gets the Invisalign, you get a new one every few weeks, and I know these ones are, tight like first night right now. I'll tell you that. It is tough, and everything is just kind of feels like I'm slurring, or I don't know, maybe it doesn't sound that way to you, but it feels like that to me. So if I am, I apologize. It's got the new super tight Invisalign in today. So we'll take a quick break. We'll return to the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado,
There's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
This jersey was worn by the legend himself, signed and everything. You can't just wear it. I'm framing it with expressions and images.
Your prized jersey deserves better than the closet. Think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
For decades, the pioneer spirit of Alberta has been exemplified in the chuckwagon racing legacy of the Dorchester family. And today, you can experience it every time you hit the links. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is in top mid-season form. Enjoy the longer days on this historic 18-hole course near Pigeon Lake. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
Hey, it's Jamie from Green Drop Lawn Care, exploring Edmonton from the Science Center to Horlock Park. I see your lawn and cringe a little. Weeds are here. And you've got them, Edmonton. Take your lawn back with our guaranteed lawn care programs and unlimited weed control.
Green Drop has been Canada's lawn expert since 1979. And they're in your community, keeping your yard looking beautiful with affordable lawn care packages that include fertilizer, weed control, drought fighter, and more. Visit greendrop.com.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
Look good, feel good, play good. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for listening to Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
246. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can stop in, check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials. We got some World Cup trifecta, the Go Canada, the CFL Bonanza. Check them out at PlayAlberta.ca. As it's time now for Thursday, brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, 2 locations, south side on 50th Street and the original location, St. Albert Trail and 118th Avenue. Your best selection for non-alcoholic beverages, anything you want non-alcoholic. And of course, they got wine, beer, cocktails for you. Hey man, right now everybody might need the odd extra drink because the rain, it's starting to beat you down a little bit. It's becoming frustrating. More so, I think by the day, like enough. Went to the Riverhawks game last night, got poured on for a bit, and it came back and they won, which was great, but definitely put it down. And shout out to the gentleman who had some extra of those little poncho bags, because I came there, I had a raincoat on, but it was not good enough. So shout out to the gentleman who lent us some. Well, not really lent you, because it's not like we're giving them back, but I got to go get myself a box of those. They're just like kind of disposable ones. They're unreal. I love it. Davey, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Yeah, I've every time I'm at a baseball game in the States or something like that, I always pick up those. There's like $3.
Yeah.
And you got your Cubbies poncho.
Yeah. You can just pull it right out. It's super easy.
Yeah.
So I like it. So today, what do we got going on the storefront?
Yeah, well, yesterday, free agent frenzy of sorts and all that kind of stuff, right? So we thought, let's and the Oilers, I think they did a pretty good job in at least finding value yesterday, right?
Yes.
They got all that space there. So we're gonna do all these ready to drink cocktails. Everybody once in a while you want a really nice, refreshing cocktail, summertime especially. Hopefully it's gonna get nicer. It feels really good out there right now in the sun. But you don't want to have to go through and buy all the ingredients, everybody putting together. So these are cap friendly, ready to go cocktails.
All right, so we're starting with the
So we're going with Nice Life. They're out of we've had some of their stuff before.
Big fan of gin.
Yeah, we've had some of their stuff before out of Port Coquitlam, BC, and they use real fruit juice and everything.
Ooh.
It's really fabulous.
Like
so this first one
light
here,
purple.
yeah, this one's this one here is the Floral Citrus Gin Spritz. So it's bright, breezy gin spritz built with lemon and orange and violets and those gin botanicals that sort of come in underneath.
It's not sweet.
Mm-mm.
You look at it, I was expecting it to be sweet.
No.
There's a little bit of tartness to it.
A little bit of tartness to it. And again, that's the nice thing about Nice Life using real fruit juice. You don't have any of that fake.
It's not, none of the fake stuff.
Aspartame stuff and any of those sugars in there. You can always just taste that residual there, no matter how much they try to mask it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and so
and it's just not good for you either. The old adage we learned from Lalitha Taylor on the show for many years. You don't want to drink your calories.
You don't want to drink your calories. That's
not
right.
too many of them.
That's
anyway,
right.
So
it's just a nice, refreshing,
it is
port of ice. If you want to garnish it with a little,
guaranteed.
Garnish with a little.
Well, you always like
to
add something to it. You always have a few. Like, what would you add to this?
I'd add it's got that lemon and orange in there, right? So you could put a lemon slice in there. You could put a little orange slice in there. Get a little squeeze, but that extra sort of freshness and natural in there. It would be perfect. Great way to start your evening off on the patio.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah. So no, that's 6.9%. So
all these are 6.9%.
Oh, they're all nice.
All across the board.
These are all Nice Life.
Yeah, all Nice Life, all 6.9, all natural fruit juice. Yeah, it's a really great product.
So now this one might be a tough sell because I don't love mojitos. I don't know why. I've never really been a mojito guy.
Yeah, mojitos can be polarizing sometimes. They're also a lot of work to make all the time. So here, if you do like mojitos, here's a great way to do it. And this is a blueberry mojito. So rum, blueberries, and mint. And it's got that sort of fruity summer twist with it. So a lot of work, but to make properly for a crowd and so on. But this is a great way to do it. You don't have to worry about muddling mint and all those sorts of things.
Yeah, it's probably the mint. Like, can be too much mint in some of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's just that's got a nice tartness to it. Comes along just crisp and kind of leaves that dry, almost dries it out at the end there. Clean palate. That's a refreshing beverage.
Yeah, it doesn't taste very blueberry at all.
No, it's not over the top. So garnishing this, some frozen blueberries, drop those in there, help keep it cold.
Yeah, so you like the frozen blueberry. That's okay.
Frozen blueberries, right?
Well, plus they say, frozen blueberries are actually very healthy for you. Something about some antitoxins get even better. So
blueberries are great for you. Exactly. So that
healthy drinking, boys and
beverage
girls.
is helping you be healthy.
Yeah, healthy drinking.
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
Now we have a blackberry mango and vodka.
Blackberry mango and vodka.
Okay.
So this is vodka, blackberry mango, tropical, and a little bit tart,
Yeah.
It doesn't always get the headline flavor treatment the way that, the next one might.
Okay.
But it really holds its own. It's really well balanced. It's great with a barbecue, spicy food.
Ooh.
Mm.
That one might be my fave.
Oh yeah. Well, that's got a nice little tart insert too.
Definitely my fave. Yeah, because I don't like pre-made cocktails that are too sweet. I don't like drinking. Like I have a sweet tooth, but I don't really like sweet drinks.
Yeah.
It's funny
And
enough. I just don't.
We're going to beat it to death on
That
these,
is
but
good,
these
man.
are not overly sweet and sugary, which
No,
is just
not at all.
fabulous.
But the blackberry mango, it's a good
Blackberry
mix.
mango. It's in the mango is super subtle in there too. Sometimes mango can be really overpowering the
Yeah.
way people make
Yes.
it. They try to overdo it.
Mhm.
And I love it when it's just that nice sort of subtleness to it. And the blackberry, that tartness cuts through some of that sweetness of the mango as well. And that's where you get that balance, I think.
Yes. Oof. That is really good.
That was really good.
Oof.
All right. Now, we both have some good childhood memories for these things, right?
No, an
The
orange
creamsicle.
That's my favorite. We were talking about favorite ice creams the other day, and orange creamsicle was
Orange
top my list.
creamsicle. Vanilla, orange, citrus. It tastes like a popsicle truck, right? Mm. And again, not overly crazy sweet. It's not as creamsicle-y.
No, it's
as
not creamsicle.
Some of the beers that we've had before.
Yeah.
right?
We've had beers that were much
We've
sweeter
had some
than
crazy
this.
ones.
Yeah.
But
It's got a delayed, like little tart aftertaste to it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure. But it's a nice balance again.
For some reason, it tastes a little lemony for me. I have no idea why, but
oh yeah. See a little bit where you get that in there. Mm-hmm.
These are really good. What do you call them? Like not pre-mixed.
Yeah,
What's the
RTDs is the
RTDs?
yeah, ready to
drink.
Yeah,
RTDs.
RTDs.
Okay.
It's a great product. And last but not least,
Whiskey lemonade.
This is the whiskey lemonade.
okay.
Whiskey sweet lemonade. It's like an adult Arnold Palmer, built for the deck there. Oh yeah, you can smell that.
Problem with that is that's way too easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is.
Like these would be great for anybody who likes to have a drink while they're golfing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this would be a perfect golf course drink.
Yeah.
The blackberry mango one, the orange creamsicle, ooh, that whiskey lemonade.
That whiskey lemonade.
The whiskey lemonade one can be dangerous for
that
sure.
One. And again, it's not super sugary sweet.
No, not at all.
And that's the problem with some of them. And this is so I'm just,
they're almost a little dry.
They're dry. Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, they're great. So yeah, fresh squeeze of lemon with
so
that.
These, like when you buy these nicely cocktails, do they come in a 6-pack or how does it
They come like this in all singles. Some of them we even have. They also do like a Negroni and a couple other ones that come in a small tin that we've had as well. So they're all singles. I think there is a mix pack. I think there is a mix pack of a couple. I don't know which ones are all in it, but yeah, come.
Well, it seemed like a no-brainer to get a mix pack.
Yeah, just or come make your own mix pack of a few of your favorites or things you want to try, and you're good to go.
And so where's nice? Like where are these?
So they're all in Port Coquitlam, BC.
Okay,
so
Canadian.
Yeah, so it's all
like
Canadian, which is also great. And they're kind of one of the first people to really do high quality, ready to drink cocktails that didn't have all that sugar in there, that used the natural juices and so on.
So do they stay? Do you have? Because it's not all the sugar on it, it's the natural juices. Are you better off drinking them quicker, or?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to hold this in your fridge. You wouldn't want to keep it in your fridge for a couple of years. That's for sure.
Okay.
But if you're letting stuff sit in your fridge for that long, you've got a problem anyway. So I think you got to drink these things and enjoy them a little bit. Otherwise, you end up having to make weird cocktails for your friends when they come over, right? So this is a great way to do it. Yeah, Nice Life Cocktail Company. So we've got a couple other flavors there as well. Come in, check them out. Both stores have them. I think Steven's got it posted up on the old Instagram and page.
Oh yes, for the this would be great. This could be because Saturday is setting up to be an unreal day for watching sports.
Oh,
because
between the soccer game,
and then you got the soccer game at 11 o'clock, and then you have the Elks game at 5 o'clock. Of course, as the Elks are looking to remain undefeated. But you also, if you want to do the trifecta, you got the Jays and the Mariners, because they're in Seattle this weekend. You got the Jays at 2 o'clock. So you go Canada, take a break, Jays 2 o'clock, boom, right into the Elks. It's a trifecta if you're a soccer, baseball, football guy.
That sounds like a great Saturday.
Oh, are you kidding me? Sadly, it's going to be raining again. So this would be a good way to get through your day. And you could have a nice life cocktail for a nice sporting day.
For a nice sporting day, yeah. Pick up one of each, give them all a go.
Well, one for each game.
That's right.
Right? One for each game. Different color.
Exactly.
Right? Get the red one for Canada. See, I got my the day after Canada, but I decided to go with the red because let's be honest, you can't really wear a red shirt very often.
No.
But the red and white, it's Canada. It looks great. So keep it on for it on for a day today. So in advance of sport. Now, if I go watch Canada, at least I got a red and white shirt.
Exactly. Yeah, I need to go get.
Because I will say this: how is it possible that you can barely get a Canadian? Like, does Soccer Canada not realize how passionate Canadians are to want to support their team? Like, to try to find to find a jersey, man. Like it's finding a picture of Gregor with hair. It's really hard. Okay, it's really hard to find one. Like, what the hell are they doing? Like, it's not like you didn't have enough time to plan for this. Like, I can't believe it. Like, I have called lots of places for my, hey, we don't have any. What? Yeah, they didn't send. Like, what are they doing? Yeah. Who's the supplier here? You're missing the boat.
And basic hats and things like that too.
Yeah.
So it was definitely tough to find out there. But I tried to put on I got a Tragically Hip Canada jersey, and I tried to put that on yesterday. It was too hot. It lasted about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. Dave, have yourself a great weekend.
Yeah, you as well.
Happy
Looking
belated Canada Day, and go Canada on Saturday.
Go Canada on Saturday.
There you go.
Right on. Cheers.
You can check us out on our Instagram, as well as just go to SherbrookeLiquor.com and you can see it. They've got all the details if you missed one of the ones. But man, that whiskey and lemonade, good. The orange creamsicle, the blueberry mango vodka, and even I love gin though. The gin, the floral citrus gin spritz. Oof. It's purple, light purple taste. Looks good. I could just see that over ice. I love it. Let's get to Declan Kruger and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by All Star Construction, underground utility company in power, gas, telecommunications, street lighting, and they are hiring. Check them out. Just look it up. Google All Star Construction.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Final from the FIFA World Cup, it was Spain over Austria, 3-0 in the first match of the day. Portugal and Croatia up next at 5, and Switzerland and Algeria at 9. In the MLB 2 finals, Pirates over the Phillies 6-1 and Reds over the Brewers 7-2. Right now, the Rockies lead the Marlins 5-4 at the end of the fifth. White Sox and Guardians up next at 4:40. In the late game, we'll see the Padres and the Dodgers at 8:10. Canadian signing goaltender Akadovich with the contract extension with $3.75 million AAV, and Alex Ovechkin set to return for his 22nd NHL season with a one-year deal worth up to $9 million in bonuses. Flames also trading Coleman and Montas the Wild for Jacob Middleton and picks. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century, and we're just getting started. Check us out at cantork.com. Our tools age better than I do.
Canada's men's rugby team at Clark Stadium. July 4th, Canada takes on Spain. July 11th, a doubleheader as Canada battles Portugal and Tonga faces Spain. Build the home field advantage for Team Canada. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place and Ice District.
Mr. Rooter has deja vu. Mr. Rooter has deja vu. The bathroom is right over there, Mr. Rooter.
Thank you, good sir. Wait, I swear I've plunged this toilet before. It was clogged with a snow globe. Am I living in a time loop? Oh, good. It's just a voodoo doll that looks exactly like me. Ooh, what a relief.
For a plumbing experience you'll want to relive, call Mr. Rooter.
The perfect place to host your golf tournament or fundraiser, company event, celebration of life, wedding, birthday party, or private party. Cattail Crossing Golf and Winter Club. More than a golf course, a fun, welcoming place with beautiful views, relaxing patios, and a team that truly appreciates each and every guest. Featuring Out of Bounds, Cattail's 5-star kitchen. Some say it's the best clubhouse dining they've ever had. Cattail Crossing Golf and Winter Club. Book your tourney or event today at cattailcrossing.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people who know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Thursday afternoon, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, Twitch, Facebook Live. Thanks so much for listening and watching the show. We very much appreciate having you on board, listening, watching. We love it. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a good Canada Day. Hey, Riverhawks won again. They're undefeated on Canada Day. I love it. And they've won 6 in a row. Hottest team in the league right now, and they need it. They need some more wins. They got to get rolling. So they're in action tonight at home. Hopefully the rain stays away, and then they jet out for the weekend. But they had a slow start to the season, but now they're starting to pick up some steam. Looking good because, hey, they beaten Bellingham 2 in a row, and they came in as the best team in the league. So it's been a good homestand for the Riverhawks. And I'll tell you, man, that stadium, it's awesome. Like, even in the rain, it was awesome. Just, you sit there, and we were in the bleachers. I love the bleacher seats. Just relax down the third base line and just enjoy. And even though it rained, but before the rain, man, we were out. We were having a little bit of a barbecue outside, playing some catch and some other games. I highly recommend, man, get down there, get a little bit early. Bring your lawn chairs. We had a little hibachi, have a little barbecue beforehand. It's awesome. Like, it is such a fun. It's like tailgating at the Elks games, man. I love it. I think that if you haven't, and I know it's hard because there's no spaces left right now, but if you have friends who have a tailgating spot, go visit them before the game. It's awesome. And next Thursday, of course, a week tonight, is the Elks game. Now, also this weekend, and I know we got a big rugby community in town, and Team Canada rugby, they've got a big event going on this weekend and next weekend. You've got 4 of the top 25 rugby nations in the world battling out. And Canada's going to take on Spain on Saturday. So if you want to go, we got a few pairs of tickets. Okay, it's this Saturday. Don't worry, you can watch Team Canada first. Okay, it's later in the day. It's at Clark Field. So if you want to go, I need you to text in. Just text the word rugby and include your full name and your email. And we got two sets of tickets, and we'll give those away if anybody wants to go. But don't just text in, because a lot of times people oh, sorry, I found out I can't go. It's a fail. Okay, it's not what we want. You know 100% that you can go, okay? Very simple. Very simple, okay? It's this Saturday at Clark Park, okay? And it's going to be a great event. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. And if you're a rugby fan, I got to tell you, that stadium, it's awesome to watch high level. Like, these are some of the best players in the world. And having the opportunity to watch it up close and personal like that is awesome. So they take on Spain on Saturday. Then the following week, you have Tonga versus Spain, and then followed up later on by Canada versus Portugal. So awesome. And then the final weekend you have in Winnipeg, you'll have Tonga versus Portugal. So I love it. But the game's coming up in Edmonton this Saturday and next Saturday. So if you want to go this Saturday, text in 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. It's going to be awesome rugby action. We do have a lot of text that we got to get to. Hey, Gregor, what's your level of concern about the goaltending and their injury history? From Dan. It's a concern. I think it's a valid concern. But the fact they're going to carry 3 goalies tells you, A, I think they realize it's a concern. B, they're going to want to limit the amount of starts. Freddie Anderson only started 35 games last year. Right? Tristan Jarry started 29. So we do the math. That's 64. Well, if they're there, that leaves another 18 games for Devin Levi. Now, Devin Levi's numbers at the NHL level, there's not enough to really know what he is. But I understand why a team that is one of the true competitors for the Stanley Cup, and make no mistake, the Oilers are. I know they lost in the first round. That means if you think losing the first round means you're not a contender, I'll strongly disagree with you. The Oilers are a contender. How many teams are better than the Edmonton Oilers? If you look to say go deep in the playoffs. Carolina, Vegas, they're good. Colorado, Dallas. Anybody else in the East, clear cut, way better? Florida, I think, coming back with a healthy team, they're going to look good. Tampa Bay, they just added John Carlson. I'd say they're pretty good. I still think Edmonton's a top 8 team. So I don't think you could go into the season with Jarry and then a completely unproven goalie, because what happens if Devin Levi couldn't play? Then what do? You're going to call it Matt Tompkins? Right? And I know everybody, Connor Unger, he's played 14 AHL games. I'm not going to, if I was a GM, I wouldn't be putting my reputation on the line and potentially my job on the line for a guy with 14 AHL games. I hope Connor Unger just continues to crush it. That would be awesome, because now you have more depth in the organization. Then maybe he's ready next year. But I can understand why GM, you need to plan for worst case scenario at times. And worst case scenario is Anderson gets injured. Okay, well, if he gets hurt, then you got Jarry. Then you got Devin Levi. So you've got a little bit more of a buffer in there. I know carrying 3 goalies isn't ideal, but I think like Anderson's done it now for years. He'll be used to it. Devin Levi's been part of it slightly, but he'd rather be in the NHL. I'll tell you that right now. And having a little bit of healthy competition, to me, isn't a bad thing. So concern, I think it's fair to say that that you're concerned for sure, but it's not one where I think it's like, oh my God, like, is it more concern than having Skinner and Pickard? No, I don't think so. It's different. But Jari and Anderson, when healthy, are a better tandem than Pickard and Skinner as a tandem, right? I think that's fair to say. So we'll see. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, don't the Oilers have to get some more finishers? Well, I guess you can always add one at the trade deadline. We always have to remember the team you have on October 1st, well, I guess this year, maybe September 30th, 29th, when the season begins, isn't always going to be the team you have in the playoffs. You might, like some teams only have a small addition, but others make big additions, right? Like look at Florida. Look at who they added. They didn't have Brad Marchand at the start. They didn't have Seth Jones at the start. Those guys played some pretty big roles, right? So Edmonton will use the regular season to see, but yeah, I think it's fair that would you like to add a more proven shooter? 100%. Now with the cap, here's the other thing you have to take into consideration. So the Edmonton Oilers, you look at teams around the league and everything like that. Okay, you could add the guy now, but you have more cap flexibility than you've ever had. The cap's going to go up another $9 million the following year. So now we get to the deadline this year. You've accrued all this cap space. You got a lot of cap space. You could bring a player in with term who has a big ticket, and you wouldn't have to gut lots of other pieces off of your team in the future because the cap's going up. So that's something to consider too. Right. And then, we can always debate, like, who is Carolina's great finishers? Jordan freaking Staal. 37 years of age, greatest playoff of his life, greatest series of his life in the Stanley Cup final. 6 goals in the first 5 games. Major reason why they won. No one saw that coming. No one. Jordan Staal will be the first guy to tell you, hey, I dream about it. I would have loved to have said I was expecting it to happen, but you're not expecting it at that point, right? It's just not, it's not realistic. So there you go. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, what about a Bobrovsky? Thoughts if he could have been the better ad from Jay? Well, Jay, how much cap space do the Oilers have? $7.3 million. What's Sergei Bobrovsky cap it? $7 million. Anderson's $1 million. There's your difference. And so when I look at Bobrovsky, Freddie Anderson just won a cup. Right now, fair to question that he didn't play the last 3 games. Totally valid. Because his injury history came up again. Yes. Now, he got ran over. Is a little bit different. Right? Like I don't know if he'll ever admit it, but I wonder how much of that was potential concussion from just getting steamrolled. But Sergei Bobrovsky at 38 years of age, if you look at his regular season play, Kevin Woodley outlined it. Now, playoff Bob's been pretty good. But regular season Bob the last few years has not been good. So I don't think Bobrovsky's a safer bet. I actually would argue that Anderson's a safer bet simply because of the cap flexibility that comes with him compared to 3 years at $7 million for Bobrovsky. That's the big difference. Very big difference. So, hey guys, the Oilers need a winger for Leon. Kapanen won't cut it. Maybe. Who was the Oilers' best player in the playoffs last year? Kapanen. So I can't say with certainty he wouldn't cut it. I just outlined Jordan Staal. No one thought that would happen. Usually in the playoffs, Sam Bennett, when they won 15 goals, he's never doing that again. Ever. Right? Ovi and Crosby, elite guys who've been in the playoffs for years. They've done it once. You think Sam Bennett's going to score 15 goals again in the playoffs? Highly unlikely. Right? But he did it once, and that's all he needed to do. I don't know if Kapanen, I don't think any of us can say for certainty that he can't do it. And how much does he have to do? To be honest, like, how great does he have to be? Right? Like, you don't know. Guys can turn back the clock for some older players. Others can just play well, right? Could Matt Savoy be Stankoven? Right? I don't know. Maybe. But look at Carolina. They had one guy, and that was Stankoven, score more than 8 goals in the playoffs. So you have a team balance here. You don't need a 15 or 16 goal scorer if you're limiting goals against. Now, it would be nice to get it. Don't get me wrong. And I could see the argument nearing the trade deadline for the Oilers to get a shooter. I'm totally in line for that. But we'll see how the season plays out. Right? I look at the Oilers, and I've said it from 48 hours after the season ended. I expect the Oilers to have a good start. I didn't know Babcock was going to be the coach. I didn't know Knobloch wasn't going to be the coach. And I outlined my reasons why. They still have good players. They still have elite players. They have players who are annoyed in how they played. They didn't take the regular season serious enough. They kind of lost their way. Now they're also going to be rested. The most rest they've had in years because they lost in the first round. Right? Like, you go back. They haven't been out of the first round since 2021. Third round, second round, fourth round. So they'll be more rested. And I think throw in the fact now that you have a new coach, and history tells me with this group, when they have a new coach, they play better off the start. So, hey, Greg's, I heard you on Kipper and Bourne say that the defense isn't big enough. How's that a concern after seeing Carolina win with their blue line? Well, if you look at Carolina's blue line, and I said not so much, but you need different guys. And Carolina, like, look at Jacob Slavin. Jacob Slavin's pretty big, right? Keandre Miller's massive, right? Nikishin, big. Carolina's blue line wasn't that small, right? And Walker, while he's small, plays like a bulldog, right? So size is one thing, but if you're 5'11" and you run around and hit everything that moves, that's different than being 5'11" and you have 3 hits all year, right? So I don't really think the Hurricanes' defense was that small, to be honest. It was mobile, right? But I don't think I would say that Carolina's D was small, really, at all. Like, Keandre Miller's what, he's 6'5"? He's huge, right? Nikishin, big dude. You mentioned, like, I just look at like Goss's Bear was smaller, but Nikishin's 6'3", Slavin's 6'3", Miller's 6'5". Goss's Bear and Walker were their smallest guy, but Walker's 5'11", who plays way bigger. And Goss's Bear, you can have one small guy. I don't have a problem with that. When you're mobile, for sure. But I look at the Oilers' defense, and the thing about Walker is look how physical he is. Who on the Oilers? Murphy's physical. Who else? Wallman can be. But my thing with Wallman is he's got to show me he can be healthy. I don't, when Wallman's in and he's playing, I think he can be a difference maker. No problem. But I need to see him. All right? Now, Ryan Shea, not overly big, but Ryan Shea is kind of like Jalen Chatfield a little bit. Similar size, although Chatfield's a little bit heavier than he is. Like, Chatfield's 210. So if you're 6'1" and 210, you can move guys around. But then there's big guys who don't play big. And that was my one frustration a little bit lately. I don't feel Nurse played as big as he is, which I would like to see that change. Quick break. We'll return. Landon Ferraro will join us, break down free agency. The Oilers, how much better are they? Or are they just more flexible due to the massive $7.3 million in cap space that they have to play with? We'll get to it and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy. Designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
You may get up early, but more than likely, the team at GS Construction have already gotten up before you, grabbed a coffee, headed to the site, and started their day. So while Edmonton wakes up, GS crews are already underground, quietly keeping things moving, upgrading, and laying the new underground infrastructure for our growing city. If you're the kind of person who goes to sleep with their steel-toed boots on, GS Construction wants to hear from you. We're looking for a maintenance foreman as well as a building and yard attendant. Visit gsconstruction.ca for more.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca. Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports is Sports 1440.
From Low Tide to Kevin Carrius and Jason Gregor, we deliver the latest on your favorite teams.
Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week
To Sports 1440.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis. They're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at sherbrooke.com.
Look good, feel good, play good. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for listening to Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Yeah. Old habits die hard. Declan Kruger filling in for Con Man, who is still vacationing. He'll be back on the 13th of July. Declan and Kenzie McClellan running things for us today on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. It's the Daily Grand Thursday, $1,000 a day. God, that'd be awesome. I like my odds, although I've never won, but I still like it. I know everyone tells me, oh yeah, you got to get the lump sum. Lump sum, schmum son. I've seen way too many people. I've read too many books about people who just ruin it. They blow all the money. You get $1,000 a day. I think it keeps you grounded. Still pretty comfortable. Like $1,000 cash every day. It's like you're making $2,000 a day. I don't know many people like that. Well, NHLers, I guess, but a few NBAers. Some of you, other people, maybe, but it's a lot of cake. I would take it. I would take it. It would just be nice. So get your tickets, playalberta.ca. Now, the free agent frenzy. It was pretty busy yesterday, but there, you know what? There's a long list of eligible free agents still out there. Now, Alexander Ovechkin was on the list, but he's off because he signed today for 1 year with the Washington Capitals. Ovi already owns the regular season record for most goals with 929. He needs 11 goals to pass Gretzky's 1,016 combined regular season and playoff goals. Pretty sure he is likely going to do that. But some of the names that are still out there, Anthony Mantha, Patrick Kane, Claude Giroux, Vladimir Tarasenko, Jamie Benn, Michael Benton, Evander Kane, David Perron. On the back end, a little bit thinner, Carson Soucy, Logan Stanley, Ben Hutton, John Klingberg, Andrew Peak. In goal, Connor Ingram, Peter Mrazek, Matt Murray, Cam Talbot, Dave Riddick. So there are still some guys, some offensive guys, Adam Henrique, another one out there. So Jonathan Dre. So we'll see. I could see some of those guys, signing later in the summer, probably on a value contract for some teams. Like Anthony Mantha is going to be the one to watch for me. Would he be this year's Jack Roslovic? Teams might look and say, yeah, geez, he had a great year, but I don't want to pay him $6 million off of 1 year because he has a history of injuries and he has a history of not doing much in the playoffs. So we'll see. Hey, Roslovic betted himself last year and cashed in. He got 2 years at $4 million this year. Now, let's go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. And you're still thinking about it. Think no more. All of you have a commercial building. Think about solar. What are you waiting for? Get out there. Get in it. They can help you out. The 30% federal rebates and more. ActionElectrical.net. As a former NHLer, 1440 pre- and post-game analyst, Landon Ferraro. Join us, Landon, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. Any signings that stood out for you on free agency?
I like what Washington did kind of out of nowhere in a sense. The way that San Jose went about their day. I think the Nurse one's a bit of a head scratcher to me. I love it from Edmonton's side. I shouldn't say I love it, but I like it from Edmonton's side. Toronto was cooking. It's so different watching going into this year with the amount of trades that we saw leading into it, that it felt like a frenzy for the first time in a number of years.
Oh yeah, no, it's true. There was lots, guys. No, there was a few contracts that people were like, oh, geez, like the Vinny Desharnais one. I love it for Vinny. It's 4.
Oh, it's awesome for him
for 4 years. And I just look at Washington. They got to be the biggest team in the NHL. Man, I was looking at their forwards today, and they are massive, right? Like the two Protas brothers are 6'6", and then you got Strome, and you got Dubois, and you got Tom Wilson, you got Alex Tuck. They're all 6'4", and Ovi's 6'3", and like they're huge, like anywhere from 200 to like 250. And then Desharnais on the back end. They're a pretty big team. So I think there'll be a load at times for some teams. We'll see how this is. Who knows? But that's one. Like, was there a contract that made you go, ooh, I'm like, good for the player, but kind of surprised at what the term in AAV was?
Well, I mean, like the one you brought up in Desharnais for sure. And then what was the other one I was looking at yesterday? Another defenseman. It signed big, and I'm absolutely blanking on it, Greg's. Signed big in the East.
Trouba? He signed.
Yeah, it's probably the number would be up in that one for sure. Like Trouba, but I get it to a certain extent, right? Like the teams need minute eaters. They need guys that can play hard, and with a pretty bare crop going across that backside, like looking at the money and all of it, you just got to understand that there's more money to be played with, and there's not many guys there. So I wouldn't say too many of them are that big of a surprise anymore. You can see where it's heading.
Like John Carlson got basically the same as Radish at 8.7 over 2 years. And then any other D-men who got big money? Well, Bowen Byram, he's got an extension. Is that one you're talking about? 12 and a half?
Yeah, I mean, that one too. The Byram, it just, like, he's a good player, and I'm really excited to see what he can do as a number one. But for what they gave up, at most, like, they paid for a number one defenseman, and then they paid him like a number one defenseman, but he hasn't shown that he can do that. And obviously they believe that he can, but at most you've signed and traded for that player. And it's almost like that's his baseline now. And there's no room for him outplaying that contract. Like, there really isn't. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. It seemed like Chicago jumping the gun and just trying to force a bigger move for someone to play with Bedard, which I understand because they've finished within the last two spots through Bedard's full contract, right? So they need to start making moves, but at the same time, like, forcing that one seems a little aggressive with where they're at.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. Looking at the Oilers, like Ryan Shea, we had him on the first hour. Really good interview with Ryan. He was the only guy who got more than 1 year on the free agent market for the Edmonton Oilers.
And to be fair, like, I don't want to keep saying it. I'm excited, but I'm interested to see what his game can be in this system, because last year was obviously his breakout year. With Mike Sullivan there before, he had basically been the 6D man playing on the right side as a lefty. Last year was the first year that they moved him. When Muse got there, they moved him to the left, and his game really started to grow. Now you're going to drop him into this area where, yeah, you lose Nurse, and Shea is not as tough and doesn't play as hard as Nurse does, but he skates really well. He can make plays. He makes good decisions. Like, there's a lot to his game that you can see some upside, as well as getting, half of the price of what Nurse was.
Yeah. Hey, you get rid of Darnell Nurse. They got a lot of cap flexibility now. Mock Medulin, I've gotten mixed reviews from people in San Jose on him, right? Like, he is, he's a young guy. I know he used to be, he was a first-round pick many years ago by New Jersey, but, like, that's 6 years ago now. It doesn't really matter to me if you're a first-round pick 6 years ago. It's what are you doing now? So, he is a lefty, but he can play the right side. And that's likely where he's going to battle Ty Emberson. But, like, he's not a lock to be in the lineup every day.
No, he's not. But at the same time, like, I like, if you're making a trade with Nurse where you only had a certain number of teams and you're trying to get the best return while not having to eat anything, to me, Mook Medulin's actually a decent bet. He's younger. They don't have a ton of young D right now. That, I know Bouchard's still a bit younger and all of this, but of guys that aren't in the system and on the team already, they get was he 24?
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
They get a 24-year-old that's long. He can move. Like, there are parts to his game that you can see where it can build, and he can continue to grow and be closer to what they're expecting when he was a younger player. The other side of it is he kind of what he is already? And that, the hope of potential is just hope. So, but at the same time, I think he can provide some decent minutes. He's long, he's lean, he's got a good stick. You work with, and especially it's a different team, right? Like, when you instantly come on a team that has a McDavid and a Draisaitl, it's not about, other than Celebrini and Will Smith, like, you got to find the play. Here, it's going to be really evident where the next play is. Retrieve the puck, move the puck. Don't hold on to it. Like, it can kind of help shore up his game, having a better system, hopefully, in play here.
Landon Ferraro joins us. So you look at the Oilers blue line now, it seems pretty settled. They got to sign Stastny and Mock Medulin. Neither one of them is going to create, like, there's just not enough room for both of them on the roster. Like, they're going to carry 3 goalies. That's, to me, seems pretty obvious from people I've talked to. So with that, you'll have 13 forwards, 7 defensemen. So, like, Spencer Stastny has got an RFA offer, but, like, I'm not sold. They might have to waive him. because you've got 7 other D-men ahead of him.
Yeah, and that's where, I mean, it's decent problems to have. Like, at least now you have choices. I feel like going into last year, like going into last training camp, you knew what was there. There wasn't going to be surprises because it was basically the young kids, Savoy and Howard, if they could break through and grab a spot. And past that, you knew exactly what was there. Now, like, there is some internal competition that is going to be in play at camp. And when you're talking about Babcock coming in, changing the culture in a sense, changing how they go at training camps, he's going to love the fact that there's guys competing. It's not show up, you already know where your spot is and you move along through it. It's a really short camp this year. They only have the 4 preseason games. Like, that elevates the competition and emotion into training camp right from day one. Guys know they don't have a long leash to try and get in his good favor.
When you look at their forward group, do you think, like, they got a lot of cap space, they could go out and add a shooter? Do you think they should add another shooter now, or do you think that's a position that they will wait until the deadline?
For me, I'd wait. I'd like to see Howard get a bit of a chance and a bit of a runway in a sense. I think there's enough there that you don't need to rush it. They're good enough to not fall behind by any means. They can stay right in the race and see what their team really looks like. I think it's going to be the first time, well, I know it is because of the cap space, that they can actually enter a year, see what they have, and then make smart decisions out of it. Not having to make reactionary decisions or trying to guess the future of looking at their forward group and knowing that, yeah, there's a good chance they're going to need scoring help. But why go get that? Who knows? Maybe Howard comes back after a really good summer and gets off to a bit of a hot start. Like, that's what you're affording yourself by having a roster set up like this. The D looking a little bit more stable through it as before, where there's a bit more question mark in my eyes. And then, of course, I'm sure we'll get to the goaltending, but with the goaltending in there, like, you really want to see what's there before you start putting money into things that you might have to spend elsewhere.
What about, would you have any interest in Jamie Benn for the Oilers?
Personally, no. To me, I think the Oilers need to play and want to play a more up-pace tempo than what Jamie Benn is able to provide right now. Is that a guy that if he gets a job somewhere else, that you look at the trade deadline as that heavy option to be able to put in on a third or fourth line against a heavier team? I'm all for that because of the character and what he's shown. But to have him there all year, I don't think that's a fit for what they're trying to accomplish right now.
Okay, that's fair. What about Patrick Kane?
Oh, I take Patrick Kane every day with them. I think that just looking at it, like dropping him onto a Draisaitl line with Podkolzin, just off the top of my head, sounds so nice. I think it could get Draisaitl back to a bit more of a shooter. Like how last year went for him, as good as a year as he had, he missed a lot of scoring chances that he normally doesn't. And I feel like that's going to come back in a vengeance this year. And the thought of Patty Kane being on that other side with them and just dishing pucks, being creative, being able to think the game the way Draisaitl does of buying space, finding those openings and taking advantage of people, that'd be real fun to watch.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, looking around the NHL, you look at Florida and what they've done in the offseason, Tampa Bay, a lot of the top teams like Edmonton, I think they're a little bit better. I think their bigger moves probably still going to come at the deadline because they actually have cap space for the first time in a long time. And when you have that much cap space and you're going to be able to accrue it and all that stuff, well, I guess unless someone goes on LTIR, that obviously can change some things for you. But the Oilers are in a very good position to make some significant moves for wingers if they want to at the deadline.
Yeah, and again, from what we were just talking about of do you add right now or like just let it play out and then make decisions from there and see what guys are maybe having a bit of a tough start somewhere else and knowing that dropping them into your system will work. I think out in the East, everyone looks at Florida and what as soon as the Brady Tkachuk trade happened, everyone starts adding, right? Toronto's completely changed around their team. Not saying they're contenders all of a sudden, but they've made a million moves. Tampa brings in a ton. Washington regroups. Buffalo's still looking good. And, the idea of Hellebuck floating in there too is still up in the air. There's a lot of teams that got a lot better. I look at the West and I don't see that as much. Teams have stayed a lot closer to where they are. And again, I think that plays into the Oilers' hand of not having to go spend right now and guess where their holes are going to be. With how the West is still shaping up, I think they'll be able to stay within that bubble and within striking distance into the season again to where they can really sit back, watch their guys play, and find what they need from there.
Landon Ferraro joins us. Landon, one last one for you. What about the goalie situation in Edmonton? What do you come out with it like? Because they're going to carry 3 goalies. So how do you see that unfolding?
It's interesting, right? Like you bring in a Stanley Cup champion goalie, that's amazing, and he jumped in and carried the weight through the playoffs before Bussy took over in the finals. The only drawback is knowing that last year is the most he's played in a number of years at 35 starts. It's not even halfway home, right? And they're even adding 2 more games this year. Well, now you're looking at Jari and you're looking at Levi. If he's sitting there, it's a question mark still. I like it better than it was. No shot at Ingram. If to be fair, if it could be Ingram and Anderson in there, I as of right now, I feel better about it. But you have Jari there, and you're just banking on him having a bounce back and hoping that seeing Anderson coming in, not that he needs a spark, him trying to save his career, even with a long-term contract, like Jari doesn't want to sit there and miss pucks all over the place. He wants to be a big part of this team and get his career back going to where he feels proud about it. Maybe seeing Anderson coming in can jump that ahead. Who knows? But I mean, time will tell, but I think they're in a better place now than they were. I'm not saying it's a great place, but it's better.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Landon, great stuff, buddy. We appreciate it. Have yourself an awesome day, and we will chat with you again soon.
Sounds good. Same to you.
There you go. That's Landon Ferraro from pre- and post-game show here on Sports 1440. Quick break. We got Livingston. We got lots of texts to get to. And Paul and Glenn, congrats, are going to rugby. And actually, I was wrong. I had 3 pairs of tickets. So I have another pair for Saturday's Canada-Spain Rugby Classic matchup at Clark Park. Okay. This Saturday, 100% if you can go. And if you're a rugby fan, it's going to be unreal. Up close and personal. You got actually 4 of the top 25 teams in the world this weekend and next weekend battling out in Edmonton. So if you want to go to Canada versus Spain, got a pair of seats for you. I need your name and your email. Text in 833-401-1440. You could be going this Saturday.
Jaylen Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Boxing Week is back at the Brick. Don't wait until winter. Get blowout pricing now. Save 50% off sofas when you buy the matching piece. Save up to 25% off bedroom and dining, and save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get free local delivery when you use your Flexity card. And buy more, save more. Up to $500 off select major appliances. Don't miss the return of Boxing Week, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in-store for details.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Edmonton sports fans, stay informed with Sports 1440. Stream us. Listen to us on the AM dial. However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle.
Throw the load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Let's go use.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Ewell. Helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From plot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at ewell.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. ewell.ca, your partner in power.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
How you doing? Welcome back. It is the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440. Sports 1440.ca. YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, the Daily Grand. $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. $7.3 million. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. Time now for the Racing Report, brought to you by Can Torque. Made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at Can Torque, NHLer.com as Colin Livingston joins us from Edmonton, New Brunswick. Is that like the brother city of Edmonton, Alberta?
Well, I've only been here a few minutes, so I'm not really sure. But we needed to stop somewhere between. We started this morning at Charlottetown, PEI. We need to be in Quebec tomorrow. So out of all the places I could have stopped, I thought this was probably the closest thing to home.
Okay. Let's I guess quickly tell us, like, what's the track there like? What's going on?
Okay, so we're only halfway. We're racing this weekend in Montmagny, which is, from what I'm told, is about an hour outside of Quebec City. We haven't been there. Alex has never raced there. I've never been there, so we're kind of showing up cold. Fortunately, our friend and our teammate when we run on road courses, Donald Teege, that's his home track, so we'll have great surveillance, even though we're going to be competing against them. One of the beautiful things about racing is, when you make a friend in the series, they'll give you a little bit of insight. And Donald, for a number 80 team, when we run that number, he's racked up 3 second place finishes in a row. So he did back-to-back seconds at Chaudière a couple weeks ago, and then finished second last weekend at Riverside.
Okay. Now let's F1 is back at Silverstone this weekend. And everybody's like, lots of teams it's like a home racetrack for everybody. Is there any benefit, you think, for the teams being so close?
It's convenient enough. So, obviously travel time is going to be pretty negligible for most of the teams. Getting to stay in your own bed for the most part, that's a big advantage. Guys like Lewis, Lando, Russell, obviously they grew up around the circuit, but these guys are such professionals. Like, sometimes you have a circuit that fits your eye and it just works. Like Nico Hulkenberg, finally got the monkey off his back and got his first career podium last year at Silverstone. Just, wasn't expected. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he could do it again, because that Audi's been pretty quick. But this weekend is going to be, I think this is going to be one of those races where we see a lot of the yo-yo racing, yo-yo passing. I mean, these guys spend somewhere in the neighborhood of 70% of the lap at full throttle. So there's so little time off throttle to recharge the batteries. This is probably not going to be the best race.
Okay. Well, maybe at least a little bit more passing we'll see in Monaco. So that's
it'd be tough to get worse than that.
Yeah, potentially a pass. IndyCar. Speaking of a great track, they're back at Mid-Ohio. What do you love about this track? What makes it so great to watch?
Man, it's got a bit of everything. It's got high speed flowing corners. It's got some tight technical stuff. It's got elevation. And it's a proper racetrack. Like, it's purpose built to be a road course. It's not like these street races that we see from time to time. Always puts on great racing. They do a really unique thing. I'm not sure if they're doing it, but they've done it the last bunch of years, where the start finish line on the start is actually between turns 2 and 3. And then the rest of the race, the start finish line is in the conventional location, but they like kind of having a charge down to turn 3, which is a really tight corner, little, chicane complex before you go over the hills. So it just always produces great racing.
And big news in IndyCar.
Yeah.
That Scott Dixon is leaving Chip Ganassi after 25 years, and he's going to join McLaren. Why?
I think a couple different reasons, and these are, I'm going to say categorically, these are just my opinions. These are not based on any fact whatsoever, but I think Scotty D has seen inside. Obviously, Alex Palous had a great run, but he's had a great run sort of at Scott's expense, in that they're doing things with Palous' car that they're not doing to Scott's car. Don't believe for a second that Scotty D forgot how to drive.
Right.
So to see the domination that Paloa's had, I think Scott's basically said, like, look, respect what you guys are doing. You've hitched your wagon to this guy. I can go over to this other team. Whether he gets top dog status, McLaren is now run by Tony Kanaan. These guys go back a long, long way. TK obviously offered Scotty something that nobody else could. And, to get a fresh start is probably not the worst thing. I mean, my goodness. I mean, 58 of his 59 wins came with Ganassi. He's got 6 championships, and he's watched his teammate rack up a whole bunch the last couple of years where he's kind of struggling to crack the top 5 a lot of weekends. So, fresh start, but this is also going to be a massive cascade for the silly season now that, he's replaced basically I think there's going to be one more change because the other kid at McLaren, who I'm drawing a blank, he's going to be out. It sounds like Lundgaard is out. But now there's an opening at Ganassi, so the silly season is going to be crazy here the next few weeks.
Yeah, what about an F1?
Well, we're still waiting to find out what the deal is with Max. Apparently, he's talking to McLaren, F1 McLaren. We heard this week that Lewis is pretty much all but signed to Ferrari for 2027 and potentially with an option year after that. So we're still waiting for Max. That's going to be the big domino. If he doesn't re-sign with Red Bull, or if he executes his exit clause, then things are going to get very, very crazy.
Yeah, well, obviously, if Max leaves, that would be the massive news, no question about it. But doesn't he have only a limited time on his out clause and when he can use it, or is it any time?
No, I think it's he's got to pull the trigger before the summer break, which is how the rumor has worked the last couple of years. That if he's not in, the top 2, top 3, top 5 by the summer break, he can execute that clause, which it sounds more and more this year that it's more likely, especially with his main engineer, GP, is already moving over to McLaren in either 27 or 28, yet to be determined. Wouldn't be too surprising to see Max follow him.
And I want to go, speaking of F1, what about the recovery system for F1? Silverstone, it's always full throttle, so there's little time to recharge. So what's that going to mean coming out of when you can't go full throttle? What's going to happen? What should race fans be expecting?
Again, I think it's going to be a lot of this yo-yo stuff that we saw at Melbourne and that we saw at Shanghai. Aside from Monza, Silverstone is like one of the biggest full throttle tracks. So for these engines to recharge, they're going to deploy the battery so quickly on the straightaway that they're going to lose power. So these things are going to go to what they call super clipping. I really think this is going to be one of the dog's breakfast kind of races, unfortunately, because Silverstone is one of the premier events on the calendar. Again, all the teams are based in the area. Aston Martin is at the track. Red Bull's right there. Mercedes is not far away. They're all very, very close. You want to put on a good show. I'm not sure that we're going to see it this weekend, but hopefully, I also thought it was going to be kind of a challenging weekend last weekend with the heat in Austria, but somehow Mercedes managed to come out okay. So I'm always happy to be wrong if it turns into a great race.
And quickly for the NASCAR Canada, what were your thoughts on what happened in Antigonish?
Boy, it was challenging. We fought rain all day on Saturday, managed to get our practice and qualifying in. Then it stormed. We were supposed to take the green flag at 9 p.m. There was an issue with the site generator. They had to call in a rental generator just to get the lights to turn on. So we didn't take the green flag until, I don't know, like 10:15, 10:20. Our car wasn't great. We had another kind of gremlin issue, kind of unforeseen. Once, once we got our gremlin fix, we were the fastest car on track. And, unfortunately, we were like 17 laps down. But once we kind of got things going, we were flying. I mean, we were 2 to 3 tenths faster than any car on track in the last stint, all for naught. But hopefully we can take kind of this base setup and, totally different track this weekend. This is a pretty flat track where last weekend was a lot of banking. But if we got the car to handle like it did last weekend, we throw a little bit of that at the track, man, we should finally be in the mix here.
Awesome. Well, Colin, have a great weekend, man. We will talk to you again next Thursday.
Okay, we'll see you on Thursday.
There you go. That's a racing report brought to you by Cantork. It's after 4 o'clock. Jason Gregor, Declan Kruger with you. Let's get to the D-Man of Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. The best place for vehicles with over 15,000. But they also care about the community where they live. They've given back over $27.3 million. Jerry, that is goauto.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
MLB finals from earlier today was the Reds over the Brewers 7-2 and the Pirates over the Phillies 6-1. Games that are live right now see the Rockies leading the Marlins 14-4 in the top of the ninth, and the White Sox and Guardians will be on the dock next at 4:40. In the FIFA World Cup today with Spain over Austria 3-0. Portugal and Croatia set to go in about an hour's time at 5 o'clock. Switzerland and Algeria at 9. Edmonton Riverhawks playing host to the Bellingham Bells tonight with a 6:05 first pitch down at Remax. In CFL Week 5 action will get going tonight with Toronto on the road in Calgary. News from around the sporting world is Kyle Lowry planning to sign a one-day contract to retire with the Raptors. They have also added Kyle Anderson, a veteran, on a one-year deal worth $3.8 million. Canadians signing goaltender Jakob Dolich to a 3-year contract extension with $3.75 million AAV. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CHJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Did you know there are actually 3 seasons we experience in June? Spring, summer, and construction season. And while roads may be narrowed and detours are everywhere, GS construction crews are on site every day doing the work because the city doesn't stop, and neither do we. As we build and upgrade infrastructure, life continues around us. That's why we never lose sight of what matters most, making sure everyone, including our team, returns home safely at the end of the day. For more on what we do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
If you've got a smart speaker, get it to play Sports 1440.
And it doesn't matter when you listen as we roll out the Sports Talk
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton's home for sports radio is Sports 1440.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Everything is going to be okay. If you're feeling the weight of too much debt, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Favor. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or a consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal will eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we've got your back.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
We just dropped a massive payload at NISQ 4. It's time to unload some deals at the Truckload of Savings event. If you've been waiting to upgrade, we've backed up the savings with unbeatable offers on our toughest Fords. Right now, haul away exactly what you need and take advantage of massive price drops across our entire lineup, including the legendary Ford F-150 for the job site or the weekend getaway. Shop the Truckload of Savings at nisqford.ca. Nisq Ford, above expectations.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out the elksnation.ca articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth W football coverage online, elksnation.ca.
He's not just another pair of glasses. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for checking out Edmonton Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Kruger, Clellan here on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Hope you are having a lovely Thursday. No rain. At least last I checked. Hopefully it's still no rain. You're going to get a little bit again tomorrow. I know. I think most of us are in the same boat. Enough. It'd be nice to get some more. Now, coming up later on this hour, future Hall of Famer Anze Kopitar will join us live in studio as he is at the Brick tournament. Is he getting the coaching bug? We'll see, but we'll talk about his great career and also the Brick tournament, of course. Awesome tournament for young kids, and they got the book that's come out talking about lots of the young players who played there. Terry Jones wrote it. We've got a copy of it here in studio, so if you're a fan of the history of the tournament, you might want to check it out. But we'll have Anze Kopitar joining us later on this hour. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Let's get to Stats of the Day. Brought to you by All-Star Construction, founded in 2009. They keep growing and expanding. And guess what, baby? They are hiring right now. If you are looking for a good job, maybe you're just starting out, right? Because they have all different opportunities for you, from construction laborers to backhoe operators, hydrovac operators, locators, and more. Check them out. Just Google All-Star Construction. You can check them out at Indeed.com, and you'll see where they're hiring right there. Now, we got a lot of stats to get to coming on. Anytime we have an extra day off, there's a few more stats to get to. Now, I do want to start with this one just because Oilers fans, just a reminder, just so you know you're not hearing wrong, the Edmonton Oilers have $7.253 million in cap space right now. They currently have 13 forwards, 3 goaltenders, and 6 defensemen. So they're going to sign one more guy. So let's say it's Mark Madula. Let's say he's at $1.1 million because he's currently at $1 million. That's what his qualifying offer was. Played 50 games last year. I don't see him in a situation to get a real big raise other than that. Maybe 1.2. Let's just for fun say 1.2. Well, now they're at $6 million in extra. Now they still have to sign Doc, but when they sign Doc, probably Matthew Joseph isn't on the roster, and he's already counting for $1 million. So, Doc comes in. I don't. He might be 1.2, give or take. So, they're going to have a lot of cap space. Is my point. for the first time in a long time. I expect him to carry 3 goalies, go with 13 forwards, 7 defensemen. But because they have the extra cap space, if you run into some short-term injuries, you just put them on IR and you can call someone else up. They're never able to do that. They were so tight to the cap, they didn't even have room to put guys on IR very often the last few seasons. So you'd run, sometimes they had a 20-man roster, 21-man roster. They'll have some flexibility if they need it this year. And more importantly, they'll accrue cap space leading up to the trade deadline. And it won't be dollar in, dollar out, which has kind of been the motto for the last few years for the Edmonton Oilers. So that will free up some opportunities for sure at the deadline. Now, CFL gets going back tonight. Calgary and Toronto. PlayAlberta.ca. You might be thinking the over. Toronto leads the CFL in points per game at 38. Calgary second at 35. Now, they give up a lot too, but they score a lot. Chad Kelly, how about this? He's averaging 397 yards per game with 9 touchdown passes through 3 games. Almost 400 yards a game. A lot of offense. And Tyler Kamen has 15 catches for 237 yards and 4 touchdowns in his first 3 CFL games. So if somebody likes to be on the CFL, check it out. Now, how about Bo Levi Mitchell? In his last 2 starts, 572 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, no interceptions. He has 630-plus yard completions, and he has a perfect QB efficiency rating of 158.3 in both games. The last guy to do that, Ricky Ray in 2013, Anthony Calvillo 2003, and then you got to go all the way back to Ricky Foggy in 1990. Now, Warren Moon did it also in 1981 and 82, but it's pretty rare. Bo Levi Mitchell's off to a great start. Interesting that road teams killing it early on in the CFL season. They're 9-5. Elks are 1-0 at home. One of the few teams that's good at home. Quarterbacks, 55 touchdown passes, only 16 interceptions so far. And how about this? 25% of offensive possessions in the CFL this year have resulted in a touchdown. That's the highest mark ever through 4 weeks of the season. So they're being efficient this year in the CFL. And when you say, oh, they just give Canadian spots, remember that 3 of the top 5 receivers in yards this year are Canadian. So there you have it. World Cup is on, but how many of you know, Declan, how many nations have won a World Cup? Do you know off the top of your head?
I think it's 7 or 8.
8.
Yeah.
Do you know the 8?
Uruguay, England, Germany, Argentina, Brazil, France, Spain. And I guess I don't know the 8th.
England.
I said England. I had them in there.
Did you say Argentina?
I missed one.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
I know you missed one. That's all right. Okay. But it's fun. The World Cup, but not a lot of teams have won. Spain and England once, France and Uruguay twice, Argentina 3, Germany and Italy 4, and Italy can't even get back in the World Cup, and Brazil 5. So will we have a different winner this year? France looks really good. Argentina looks pretty good. Germany and Italy are out. Uruguay's out. And the rest are still in. So I guess 5 of the 8 still have a chance. Now, speaking of hot, there is no hotter athlete on the planet right now than Dansby Swanson. This guy is on fire. Hit another home run today. In his first 70 games of the season, he had 7 home runs and 28 RBIs. In 13 games since, 29 RBIs, 9 home runs in his last 13 games. Hey, Vladimir Guerrero, pay attention. It can happen. You can turn your season around. Dare to dream. Speaking of home runs, this might be the guy that you want to bet on in the home run derby. He's the first guy to commit to it, but Junior Caminero, who's only 22 years of age, he homered in his 6th straight game last night. That breaks Ken Griffey Jr.'s record as the youngest player to do so. If Caminero can go a yard in his next 2 games, he will tie the longest consecutive streak with a home run ever in MLB history at 8 games. But that guy right now is killing it. And hottest team in baseball right now, the Miami Marlins. They went 20 wins, 6 losses in the month of June. They became the first team ever who entered the month 8 games or more below 500 and then exited the month 6 games or more above 500. What a turnaround for the Miami Marlins in the month of June. It's been crazy. And here's a little tidbit, because many of you have heard the story about Bobby Bonilla, right? And what's unique about, do you know the real background of the Bobby Bonilla story? So Bobby Bonilla from 2011 until 2035 was going to receive on July 1st a payment of $1,193,000. Okay, well, actually $193,248, right? It was part of a deferred payment plan that the team, him and the Mets agreed upon in 1999. So he didn't get any money from 1999 until 2011. But here's the kicker. Do you know how much money he was owed in 1999, Declan? Do you know?
No.
He was owed $5.9 million. That's what he was owed. He agreed to defer it and not get all of the money until 2035. But he gets 25 annual installments of 1.1. So think about it. He took a $5.9 million, and even if you look and say, I was going to get 10% of that, a good investment, right? 10%, right? He'd make $590,000 every year for the 10 years from 12 years, I guess, until he got his first payment from 99 until 2011, right? It would have kept growing and building. But here's the other kicker, though. It's not the only payment that he gets. No one ever talks about the fact that he also receives $500,000 every year from the Baltimore Orioles from 2024 to 28. He deferred the lump sum, but he is actually getting $1.693 million every year to do nothing. He got $500,000 from the Orioles starting in 2004, and that ends coming up in 2028, and he got 1.13. He was only owed $5.9 million, and he turned that to make it 5 times the money. Not bad. Not bad, because here's the thing. They looked at it and, taxes and everything else, plus he felt like I had a lot of money, and I felt like I was going to get all more of it. I might have wasted it. Kind of goes back to our $1,000 a day. Sometimes just I know people will say, well, you can put it in the stock and you make more. Well, do you? Maybe. But he's now getting it later on. And for his kids, he's getting $1.8 million a year to do nothing. That's a pretty good retirement fund. Not to mention probably all the money he put away. So happy Bobby Bonilla Day. But no one ever talks about the $500,000 he's been getting for 23 years from the Baltimore Orioles. Smart dude. Because trust me, money didn't go away. Money did not go away. 4:20, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We got 5 questions and Anze Kopitar, Mark Spector, and more. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
Got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Boxing Week is back at the Brick. Don't wait until winter. Get blowout pricing now. Save 55% off sofas when you buy the matching piece. Save up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get free local delivery when you use your Flexity card. And buy more, save more. Up to $500 off select major appliances. Don't miss the return of Boxing Week, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in store for details.
Sleep is for the off-season. What off-season? Sports 1440 is live, loud, and locked 24/7. Oilers, Elks, Riverhawks, Stingers, Oil Kings. We've got your picks. Edmonton is home to sports. It's Sports 1440.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit, no credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
School's almost out, and road trip season is just around the corner. But if your brakes sound like they're grinding harder than a hockey fourth liner, it might be time to visit Napa Auto Parts. Napa has all the quality parts, tools, and know-how to help keep your vehicle running smoothly and road ready. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
426, we roll through Thursday afternoon. Hope you are having a lovely Thursday. Big weekend of sports coming up, baby. CFL action starting tonight, game of day, tonight through until Sunday. Elks are on Saturday, 5 o'clock, as they look to remain perfect against the BC Lions. You got Jays in Seattle, and of course, the World Cup coming up, Portugal and Croatia tonight. And we got 3 more elimination games tomorrow, and then the round of 16 begins on Saturday. And Canada, 11 a.m. Get your red and white on. Many of you will be watching. Should be loads of fun. So check it out on Saturday. Let's get now to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. As Boxing Week returns, you can get blowout pricings, 55% off sofas when they buy the matching piece, up to 25% off bedroom and dining furniture, and 40% off select mattresses at The Brick and thebrick.com.
for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
Okay, school is out, but we still need to do some report cards. With that said, if you had to give Stan Bowman a letter grade based on his July 1st, what would it be?
Question. I would give him a solid B plus for that. And you know what? Only one long-term deal on Ron Shea at $4 million. And as the cap goes up, like if all he ever turns out to be is a number 5 defenseman, which I think he probably could be more, but if he's only a 5, you know what? That's kind of going to be the going rate for number 5 now. So good deal there. No one else got big money. There's, you know what? I don't give an A because like there's a slight risk in both goaltender ads for sure. But, you know, and you also trade Darnell Nurse without retaining any salary, create a huge amount of cap space for your team. So pretty solid day.
Question number 2. What was the worst contract given out yesterday?
It's always a good question because, well, it has to be something with term because, you know, 1 years, 2 years, those ones never get you. The Bowen Byram one is definitely risky. I would say it's probably the riskiest one. But if Bowen Byram, because, hey, I know that cap numbers go up significantly, that if Bowen Byram suddenly turns into a 70-point defenseman, it won't be a crazy contract. And keep in mind, it doesn't start until the cap is at $113 million. But it's hard not to go with that one. What about you?
I mean, the Gudis one is just so weird. Like, I know they're going to throw him on LTIR to circumvent the cap so we can keep getting money into his 40s. That one, as much as I like the player, I think Vinny's as well. That one's a little rich, but those two were the ones that came to mind for me. Question number 3. What team will Kirill Marchenko be on to start next season?
Yeah, Werenski, everybody's come out and said, hey, you know what? Everything's, whatever happened there, we're deciding that everything's good now. So I don't know. Did they go on a dating website for a week and realize that, God, it's not good as out there as I thought it was. So I don't know, but I'm going to say, to start the regular season, how about a little bit of a surprise here? Montreal Canadiens.
All right, question number 4. What is your prediction for how the games will get divided up between Devin Levi, Freddie Anderson, and Tristan Jarry next season?
God, injuries are obviously going to play a factor here. I'm going to say Jarry ends up with 37 starts. Anderson will be at 28 and 17 for Levi.
Okay, and final question. How surprised were you, and as an extension, just kind of your general thoughts on, how surprised were you at Jaylen Brown's return in the Jaylen Brown-Paul George trade?
Honestly, I'm stunned that that's all they got. Good for the 76ers, man. Now, maybe Jaylen Brown was a huge benefactor of his teammate in Boston, Mr. Tatum. But I don't know, man. I think he's a pretty good player. And Paul George's contract is just so bad. That's what I don't get. Like, I don't know, man. Like maybe I don't watch it close enough to appreciate Paul George. He just seems to be the most overhyped player by managers across the NBA. At what teams have given up to get him? I don't get it. What about you?
Yeah, it's a funny one. Like the 76ers got better. They got the best player. I still it makes me question what Jaylen Brown's trade value was throughout the rest of the league. Like if teams are really looking into these analytics things where he's like, there's some pretty scathing stuff out there against him. But then on the other side of the coin, it's like, man, you had to give up Paul George, who by the way has a player option for next season for $56.6 million that I promise you he's going to be opting into. He is beyond an anchor at this point in his career. He's the worst contract in the NBA. I don't know how you absorb that and lose the player. Philly got better. They got the best player in the trade, but there's a lot of weird stuff that kind of goes into
it. Kind of. Yeah, it is. It is definitely a wild trade. And there's all sorts of crazy things that you're seeing out there. Deck, who's going to be the middle linebacker for the green and gold on Saturday?
Well, I haven't had a chance to get down to practice this week, obviously with my obligations with Fantasy Frenzy sitting in for Connor. As far as I can tell, I think it will be Nick Anderson returning. Like I'm not speaking out of my rear here, right? Like he's on pace. It was one game IL. He's going to be back. Things are trending in the right direction.
Well, I thought they put Nick Anderson on the 6th game.
Okay. Well, if that was the case and I missed it, then I'm doing a pretty job reporting it right now. If it is Brock Anderson, like I love Brock Anderson's game. I thought he had a great game against Winnipeg. I thought he had some really, really heads up plays. I thought he filled gaps really well, which is something like you've talked about this. They think of him more as a cover guy, not someone who's going to plug those gaps. So the way he was able to do that with such kind of ferocity, if you will, was really, really impressive to see. There are some positions on this team where if there's a replacement that comes in, you obviously kind of say, hey, I don't know about this. I don't know how good I'm feeling. Middle linebacker is not one of those.
Well, it's because Mogensen hasn't practiced this week, right? For the first, that's why you look at it for me, and I'm wondering if they're going to, if they're just going to move. Now he played there last year, so I wonder if Joel DeBlanco might slide to the middle for that game. So I'm curious. The Elks official depth chart will come out tomorrow, but I don't. Joe Robustelli, I don't expect to play. The good news is Royce Mechie is getting closer, limited, but he's not ready. But at least he's moving. You're seeing him, but he'll be a ways away. Silas Hubert, the D lineman who was on all special teams last year for the Elks, probably went maybe the most underappreciated player on the green and gold last year was Hubert for just everything he did. He didn't miss a snap on special teams, and he's had now 2 full days of practice, so I think there's a really good chance you're going to see him come back on the roster. But the Brock Mogensen one, now sometimes guys just won't practice and then they'll play, so that's why I'm very curious to see if he's going to get an opportunity here. But we'll see. Hey guys, I don't get it either on Brown. The guy was an MVP candidate with Tatum out last year. It's a crazy trade, dude. Honestly, like. I really don't understand it. And what's funny is I see a lot of people, he thinks he's smarter than everyone. Well, but if you go back, the guy's a really smart guy. Now, I don't know him from Adam, so I can't claim. Sometimes people are intimidated by others. And because he questions some of your decisions. And some people don't like that. But, like Jaylen Brown, you go back to his college days, like he was always an intellect. And maybe that intimidates some people. We'll see. But I'm very curious to see what goes on with that trade, and more importantly for the Elks. Hey, their defense is good enough, but like any team, if all of a sudden your top 2 middle linebackers go down, there starts to be a little bit of a trickle down effect to see how it impacted. So Brock Mogensen, whether or not he can play or not, will be a big storyline heading into tomorrow's practice. Take a quick break. When we come back, we should have Anze Kopitar joining us in studio. Here he's in town, of course, for the Brick tournament, doing a little fun coaching. Also, he's now officially retired from the National Hockey League. It's too early to say that he misses it yet, but I'll say one thing. I'm gonna guarantee he might not miss the offseason training, because that's the one thing when you talk to players, they're like, dude, I do not miss the training. I miss the fun stuff. I miss getting to the games. Training, not so much. When it's your job, like there's people out there that some of you love working out, enjoy it, but even then there's times where you're like, oh. But when you're an athlete now, like it becomes a full-time job working out and training from a young age. It is wild. So I could see how somebody after doing it for 20 years might be like, you know what? I am not missing the 4-hour workout days. Now, most guys still do something. They're active, but not at that level. Quick break. We'll turn. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit JapaEquipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
They are tasting just so right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. Delivering you the away. And oodle-oodle-oodle.ca. Oodle-noodle.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
The Riverhawks are back, and so is the fun. Celebrate girls and women in sports, the Canada Day Party, and Epcor's Foodie Night covered in nacho cheese. Good times and great baseball at Remax Field. Tickets at gohawks.ca.
Every lunchtime, hang with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. Low Tide and Declan Kruger gives you the deep dives, sharp analysis, and Edmonton sports talk done right. Your game, your station, Sports 1440.
Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say good to go.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Boxing Week is back at the Brick. Don't wait until winter. Get blowout pricing now. Save 50% off sofas when you buy the matching piece. Save up to 25% off bedroom and dining, and save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get free local delivery when you use your Flexity card. And buy more, save more. Up to $500 off select major appliances. Don't miss the return of Boxing Week, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in-store for details.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Experience the home ice advantage with your window coverings. Novo Blinds provides factory direct pricing and fast turnaround on roller, zebra, blackout, drapery, and motorized blinds. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Druid Irish Pub, Edmonton's favorite soccer home. The Druid Irish Pub is back in the Ice District across from Rogers Place. Watch all the games with 650 Heineken only at the Druid Irish Pub.
He's not just another pair of glasses. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for checking out Edmonton Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Rolling through Thursday afternoon. How you doing? Jason Gregor, Declan Kruger, Kenzie McClellan with you on a lovely Thursday afternoon. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. And it's time to get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Rides Charter Company, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies with state-of-the-art motor coaches that will safely take you or your group, your stag, your wedding to your next destination, silentrides.ca. And we're joined in studio by a five-time All-Star, two-time Stanley Cup champion, multiple winner of the Selke Trophy, as well as the Lady Byng. And now I guess we have to put under a coach in his resume. Anze Kopitar joins us. Anze, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Good to see you again. Retirement's officially here, but maybe coaching your son. Obviously, when you're playing, you probably don't get an opportunity like this very often. So how fun has it been just to hang around, kind of being dad/coach?
It's been an absolute blast, really. Yeah, I mean, I've done a couple tournaments before this one too.
Yeah.
And it's nice being on the bench, right in the mix again. Obviously, used to that environment in a slightly different role, but no, it's been an absolute blast. We got a great group, great coaching staff, so it's been a really, really fun experience.
When you come out of, as long as you were as a professional, and I've talked to lots of guys. Some guys that get into the coach are like, man, it's awesome. Like, it kind of reminds me of the fun part of the game. And then other guys like, well, I got to check myself sometimes because I'm like, why aren't these guys doing what they're supposed to be doing? Because you see the game that way. How has that been for you?
Yeah, there's a couple of times I have to remind myself that these guys are 10 years old, 10 and younger. So no, but I mean, it's great. I don't think I'm super involved, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm there to, just try to keep everybody in good spirits and,
sure,
just lift them up. I mean, Listen, like I said, they're 10 years old. The emotions are an absolute roller coaster. You can see it on a shift-to-shift basis. And I mean, I'm having fun. And we'll see where that takes us.
How's the team doing? I know you guys qualified. Hey, the Brick Tournament's a pretty big deal. And you guys are into the playoff round, which is an accomplishment itself.
I mean, yeah, I didn't know about the Brick until a couple of years ago, and obviously now followed it a little bit closely. And what an experience for the kids. Myself, I had a chance to play in the Pee Wee tournament in Quebec, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But I think this one is slightly more intimate because Quebec is awesome. For obviously the kids are older and you're playing in the big arena. Back then I played in the Pepsi Coliseum. What a barn that was, right? So, and then for me, a kid from Slovenia, when you're 13 years old, playing in that big rink is extraordinary, right? And now these kids come here, and the glass is lower, and they can high five the parents and grandparents. I mean, what a venue and what a tournament to put together by this crew here. I mean, like I said, I'm having a blast, let alone a 10-year-old. So it's been great.
Now, have you went to the water park? You've been on any rides? You having a little fun outside of hockey or what?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, I guess living in a mall for 14 days is going to get old in a hurry, but we're hanging in there. It's a great mall. We've done the water park before the tournament to get out of the system, and then we'll see how far we go. I think we might have a little bit more time on the weekend, and we'll experience that again.
Now, when you did the water park, did you actually go on any of the big rides?
I did not. No. I'm
not a water slide guy.
I'm afraid of heights, so I'm not.
Oh, really?
I don't like to go too high up.
Wow, okay, I didn't know that. Awesome. So now, did your teammates in LA? I'm really good buddies with Stoli and Greer. Those guys.
Okay.
Now, when you have a guy who's scared of heights, do your teammates, like when you're flying, like, was flying no fun for you?
No, it's like an open spaces.
Oh, okay.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Everything's fine when like in closed spaces. Okay. But out high on a balcony or somewhere, it's really not my forte.
Not your forte. Okay. No. It's obviously too early to tell because, but you had a year to kind of mentally maybe prepare yourself. Now, looking back on that, Was it good or bad having, everybody knew that it was your last year? Would you have said, you know what? Because you seem like always a pretty quiet guy. Would you have preferred to say, you know what? I just should have said it with a week to go in the season? Or was it good to have a year-long goodbye?
No, I mean, did I expect like a farewell tour like I had, I guess? No, absolutely not. But I just wanted to get out in the open.
Okay.
I was talking with obviously the management and the organization. Everybody knew. And then, I think it was day one of training camp. I mean, everybody in the room got asked that question, whether I'm going to keep playing or not, or it might have been even before training camp.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? I don't want to put this on the guys. My kids were getting asked in school if I'm going to play or not. So it would have been just a big burden, really. And, if somebody asked me halfway through the year and I know I'm retiring, do I really have to come up with an excuse and all that stuff? So I just wanted to get it out and, just have everybody know. And that was it.
Anze Kopitar joins in town with his team for the brick tournament. Of course, this weekend, if you're looking for some fun, it's always great. The kids they're fired up, man. When each shift is like their last shift, it's loads of fun. You mentioned as a young kid from Slovenia, and obviously the greatest Slovenian player, you're one of the greatest hockey players ever. How did you, because I've talked to you lots over the years, and a lot of it was about your defensive game and awareness and all that, but I don't think I've ever asked you, like, how did you become so damn good in a place where, you didn't grow up around, there wasn't a ton of high-level competition, which sometimes I argue, I said, if kids have it, you have a drive and a passion, but how are you able to come out of Slovenia to be such a dominant player?
Good question, actually. I mean, I played up most of my childhood, so
Okay.
I'd play with 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4 years older kids.
Wow.
And I guess when you do that, they're bigger, stronger. So you gotta, compete harder. I was always a pretty tall kid, so it's not like it was like a big size
Right.
disadvantage for me. But yeah, everybody's faster, so you got to keep up and think a little bit more and like all of the above, right? And then I think I was 15 years old when I played like in our men's league, like with the big boys already. I mean, I know it's obviously Slovenian league,
Sure.
and it's nothing
But still,
maybe nothing to brag about, but as a 15-year-old, that's a pretty big deal. And after that, I just figured it was time, and I left for Sweden for a couple of years, and then made it to LA. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely unorthodox, but I guess just like you said, if you have the drive, you can get better on your own. You can do a lot of stuff on your own too. It doesn't have to be the greatest junior league in the world, but you got to keep plugging away, keep taking step by step, and eventually it can happen.
you, because of that, I don't know if you probably weren't playing hockey year round back then as a kid, were you?
No, definitely not.
no.
I mean, we didn't have ice. So our ice would go from, I'm throwing out some soft dates, but it was from start of August, maybe into late March.
Okay.
And then every rink would get rid of ice. So
Okay.
there would literally be no ice. So then you play, I don't know, roller hockey, you play soccer, basketball, tennis, you name it. And, it's not like everything was organized too.
Yeah.
I mean, now this is obviously almost 30 or 25 years later, it's completely different. But we found a way just to, I guess, get your hand-eye coordination, outside and everything. And it was, it was good.
Well, you come back and you're fired right up to play hockey again. You miss it. I think it could be a good thing.
I mean, and I did it all the way up until last year. Like once the last game is done, I needed 2 good months to stay off the ice.
Okay.
Because once, August comes again, I wanted to be excited to be on the ice versus, maybe skating year round. And I know that's not for everybody. Some guys want to skate year round and just kind of keep the tempo. But for me, yeah, the first week was pretty shitty, I guess, when you get back on the ice and all that stuff. But I was excited to be back on the ice. So I felt like that gave me more of a drive to, just to get ready for the season again.
How did you mature and maybe develop your leadership skills? Did you have any advice from people? Did you learn where it's just osmosis, watching other people around? Or because, I talked to your teammates, and the one thing is, as great of a player as they were, they're like, Anze Kopitar, his ability to lead a group was very impressive. Where'd that come from?
Well, when I got to LA, that was probably the big eye opening, right? I mean, growing up, always been, I guess, one of the kids on the team. So you maybe just kind of learn from that, not knowing.
Okay.
And then when I got to LA, I had Matthias Nordstrom as my captain. He's a great human being. I had Rob Blake, who we all know, obviously. I had Crack Conroy, as the older group. And, it was ears wide open and listen and try to learn. And, it just kind of felt maybe not natural, but like I was never a big outspoken raw guy. I was more of a quiet guy and just kind of lead by example, and no better guys to, I guess, follow than those guys. So it was, I guess it was nice that those guys were there and I could just learn from there.
You came over, you were drafted 11th overall in 2005 and then played one more year in Sweden. And that year you had 8 goals, 20 points in 47 games. Then you come over, you're a young kid, you scored 20 goals as a rookie, 60 points. And like in 06, 07. From an outsider, someone looks at those stats and oh, geez, it's pretty easy. Obviously, it's far from it. But how did you make the transition as smooth as you would coming in as a young guy? Because lots of Europeans usually will take a little bit longer to kind of acclimatize themselves in the NHL.
I don't know. I'm a big believer that you got to be at the right place at the right time.
Okay.
I really do. And Kings, no disrespect to obviously the organization, but we're not in a good place, right? So we had, quite old team, and I was put in a spot to where I could succeed, really.
Okay.
I mean, we were not a playoff team, obviously, my first few years, and I could really, maybe take over, or the young guys, that came in, Drew came in a couple years later. Dustin Brown was there, which we've connected really well, obviously, and kind of got it going. But I mean, I always looked like if I was drafted by Detroit, back then, what a powerhouse. Where do you slot in? So then you're bouncing between the AHL, NHL maybe, and you just don't hit the ground running. Versus with us, we didn't have a whole lot of, I guess, superstars or anything. So when I got there, I mean, it helped that I had a couple of goals my first game. That the confidence gets going. But I mean, it was just I was put in a situation to succeed. And I mean, on the flip side, obviously you got to make it happen for the coach to trust you and all that stuff. So it was just kind of like a really good mashup of everything in LA early on.
Do you remember, because you were a pretty young guy, but do you remember a few years after you come in, I guess it would have been your third camp, and you meet Drew Doughty, who's just a number 2. What's your first impressions of Drew? Do you recall 20 years ago almost?
I mean, I didn't really have to go back 20 years because he's the same person now than he was back then. But no, I mean, obviously a ton of skill, world-class player. And he came as an 18-year-old. He was our best defenseman since day one of camp. So, I mean, I think it was it his first year he made the Olympic team, or it might have been the second year. So, I mean, just obviously I can say it, a future Hall of Famer. And, I'm extremely happy that I can call him my friend and teammates, and that we won cups together.
I loved his attitude all the time. And he said, you know what, man, I always got to go up against the best players. I love it. Some days they're going to beat me. You went the same way. Like most of you're playing Connor McDavid. You just played him in the playoffs lots. You go to the playoffs and you're always playing against the best players. It's exciting, but did you change at all how you played when you played against the best of the best?
No. I mean, you try to play your game. And I guess for me and Drew, we were both on the ice quite a bit at the same time playing against those guys. And I mean, went about our business and just kind of, I mean, it sounds a lot easier than I guess when it happens on the ice, but you just gotta do your own thing, trust your instincts. And that's how we did it.
Off season's here. You mentioned you never get on the ice in July anyway, but do you miss working out yet?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, that's the hard part that people probably don't see is the 2.5, 3 months to get ready for a 8-month season or a 9-month season, right? So that's a grind. And on the ice part, that's always
you're
fun.
Gonna miss it, right?
It's the gym, the track, the everything and anything that you got to put your body through just to be ready.
There's lots of players that think after they retire, coaching management? Are you just want to be dad now for the next few years? What's your plans?
I'm gonna be dad for the next couple of years. I mean, now I gotta hop on the bench pretty soon to go, but dad first, absolutely. If the kids want some advice, no problem. I'm there, but I'm not pushing anything.
And I'll get now. Speak quickly about that. The kids know who Hanze Kopitar is. They look around the bench, so they must. Do the 10-year-olds? Because I love the kind of sometimes just the youthful naivety of young kids, and just like these questions they ask you. What are some of the fun things you get asked as a future Hall of Famer yourself from some of these young kids in the game or the bench and anything like that? Or is it more just non-hockey questions?
No, I think it's just more shyness. They want to know about the game. They want to know who I'm friends with. And, have I talked to Connor McDavid or Leon and all those guys, right? So that's what they want. They want to know who's hard to play against and, what goalie I had most trouble scoring and all that stuff. Like a 10-year-old would ask. Yeah. But no, I've been around the group enough now to where I feel like they're very comfortable. They're not starstruck anymore. So we've been having a ton of fun.
Well, Hanze, thanks so much, man, for coming in studio. Best of luck. Hope you guys have a good weekend and get all the way to the final. I like how you describe that experience, though, that it's more intimate, that the kids score a big goal. Because most games, you never can lean over the glass to high five. Like for parents, that's probably just as much fun as I think it is for the kids to see them get so fired up. And everybody's that close. And playing in the mall, though, is pretty hot when the sun comes out. Eh?
Yeah, it's pretty hot. Ice gets a little choppy, but my little guy scored in the first game, and I don't remember when was the last time I was so excited for a goal being scored. So I was a very proud dad. Very proud dad.
Well, that's the best part of it now, man. It's probably almost, and I'm sure you're learning it quickly as a coach. It's way harder to stand there and do nothing than when you get to play. You're not nearly as nervous. When you're coaching, you're probably more nervous because you can't do anything to impact the game.
100%. It's definitely more nerve-wracking watching than actually playing.
Well, awesome. Have fun. And thanks so much for this. And we'll be talking again soon, probably in 3 years when you're inducted into the Hall of Fame, man. We look forward to it.
Well, let's see if it happens. Thank you, though. Appreciate it.
Awesome. That is Hanze Kopitar. We'll take a quick break. We'll get to Declan Kruger Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Employee pricing is on now. You pay what they pay. Get great deals. NorthgateGM.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Scores in the MLB world from earlier today was the Pirates over the Phillies 6-1, Reds over the Brewers 7-2, and the Rockies over the Marlins 14-4. Right now, White Sox and Guardians tied 0-0 in the top of the second. Spain over Austria in the World Cup today. Portugal and Croatia set to kick off in about right now. Switzerland and Algeria at 9. Riverhawks in action, playing host to Bellingham at 6:05, and the Toronto Argonauts will be on the road to take on Calgary in the CFL as Week 5 kicks off at McMahon. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth, fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Boxing Week is back at the Brick. Don't wait until winter. Get blowout pricing now. Save 55% off sofas when you buy the matching piece. Save up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get free local delivery when you use your Flexity card. And buy more, save more. Up to $500 off select major appliances. Don't miss the return of Boxing Week, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in store for details.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
And you can dance.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Athletic Care, Edmonton's multidisciplinary health clinic at West Edmonton Mall. Physicians, physio, massage, sports psychology, and more. One team, one roof, one plan. Book now at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
We roll through. Welcome back, Jason Gregor. Connor Halley, Sports 14, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Big thanks to Craig Stiles and everybody at the Brick for helping us line up Anze Kopitar to come down. It's like a pregame interview with Kopi as his team. They're on the ice here in about half an hour's time, getting set. They have qualified already, so they're going through to the playoff round starting tomorrow. And man, those games are. I was around them all on Tuesday. Watched a few games, and again on Wednesday when I was here doing free agent frenzy with LT. I had to wheel around afterwards and just stopped in for 20 minutes. And man, it is the music's pumping. If you're a 10-year-old kid, that's quite the experience. It's loads of fun. They do it pretty well. So good luck to all the teams playing this weekend. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. As we get to the spec report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialist, pipe layers, operators, and more. They are hiring. Go to gsconstruction.ca and look up careers. As Mark Spector joins us. Spec, good afternoon. How you doing?
Good, man. It's a beautiful day. Lots going on. What'd you think of yesterday?
You know what? It was I thought a very efficient day by the Edmonton Oilers. There was no, we had Ryan Shea on earlier, and I could see why they signed him. He's a defense. Like, I don't know how many times he talked about the importance of defense. He loves it. That's what he is. Nobody else. Although I wouldn't have had a problem signing Kapanen to a 2-year deal, but everybody else got 1 year. There's no long-term risks, and even if Shea only is a number 5 over the course of his career, his number is not egregious by any stretch of the imagination. And more importantly, though, for the first time since I can remember, at least 8 or 9 years, the Oilers have a significant amount of cap space that they can use to give them some flexibility and maybe take a bigger swing near the deadline, which is what lots of teams normally do.
Yeah, that's crazy. And that might be the new, maybe that's the new way to do things. Like maybe instead of we've just accepted, Jason, that in order to be a contender, you got to spend every dollar, right? We've just accepted that. And I know a lot of teams find themselves in LTIR, so they maximize their LTIR right to the last penny. And, we've been through that in Edmonton for sure. But I'll tell you, Stan Bowman has built a decent team here, like a good team. It's, they can stand an improvement, but there's lots of time. But with all the cap space they have, I mean, they could add, a couple of $6 or $7 million players in March if they're at the end of their deals. So to me, that's like March, as you know, that's when guys are open that aren't open now. That's where guys are available that you can't get today. And all of a sudden in March, sometimes they're open. So I think Stan Bowman's left this team in a mighty good spot. What do you think?
Well, yeah, they're in a good spot for sure. Now, the cap goes up, right? Keep in mind, when it was a flat cap, everybody was near the cap. And there are still some teams. Vegas is there, Toronto, Florida, a few others. I don't think Edmonton's done. I still think if they could, they would like to find a scoring winger. Easier said than done. But, I think that's whether that happens in the summer or before the deadline. I can't answer that, but I know they're looking, as they should be. But that's the one element of their team that they would look for right now. It's a clear area that you would like to improve.
Okay, that's fair for sure. So I guess I'd say to you, do you feel like the need, if the market has kind of been picked over here already? I don't know if there's guys out there that you see that would be a good example of the scoring winger you're looking for. I'm not sure I can think of one that's out there right now that's still a UFA. Can you?
Well, no, not UFA, but it might even be, I don't think the trade window in the NHL has closed, Spec. I'll tell you, if I could get Kirill Marchenko at $3.85 million for a year, I would look at that trade.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. I guess I'd say to you, either, because I don't like the free agent market's been picked over. So yeah, sure. If you could find a trade for the guy you like, that's fair. Mm-hmm. But you're going to have to give Columbus, obviously, something good for that player. Or do you think you can survive till you get into the season, till you get to, do you have enough to get you to March in good shape? At which point you can use and flex this cap space you have and find the winger we were talking about. And maybe at that point, find an exceptionally good winger that's not available today in trade. Maybe there's a team that's, every year, Jason, there's teams in March that thought they were going to be contenders that aren't. And every year there's guys that are for sale in March that weren't for sale in October. If you got a good enough team to get you to March, the shopping gets a lot better around the deadline.
Yeah. I wonder, Spec, if on September 20th, and it's a big if, but if Anthony Mantha is still free, would you do a Jack Roslovic 1 year deal for a guy like that? Because you'd still have lots of cap space to add later, but you've got to I think the one thing the Oilers learned last year was you cannot take the regular season for granted. You can't just think you're just going to, lollygag your way through the regular season and then crank it up in the playoffs. Doesn't happen, right? They never really had a foundation to their game, right? We talked about all year long and they kept, so it doesn't matter. We know everybody talks. Yeah. And then at the end of the season, what the veterans say, yeah, you know what? We never really found our game. I'm like, why the hell didn't you just admit that during the season? It just kind of annoyed the hell out of me why you do that. But
yeah, you did see that train coming down the tracks all year long, and somehow they pushed it off. And then at the end they go, yeah, that train, it sure did come down the tracks.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So not happening.
Well, I mean, sure. Anthony Mantha is a lot like Roslovic in that I'm not going to give Anthony Mantha a big fat contract. He's been a guy that's never lived up to expectation or very seldom lived up to expectation. Sure, Roslovic worked out great for Edmonton. and very wisely, they let him sign somewhere else for $4 million, I think for 2 years in Toronto. That's fine. They got the good year out of Roslovic. Playoffs came. He did nothing like he always does in the playoffs, and you move on. And if that turns into a inexpensive 1 year show me deal for the next guy, yeah, for sure. I don't Anthony Mantha. If I just don't want to pay him $4 or $5 million.
No,
I get it for a lot cheaper. Sure, he could play. Why not?
Yeah. And I know this guy wouldn't necessarily help you at the at the top end of your roster as far as scoring goes, but now I'm guessing he might just return anyway. But man, if for whatever reason Jamie Benn was an option on a 1 year deal at 36 years of age, Spec, I would listen long and hard to a Jamie Benn conversation.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? I mean, he's a third line player on a good team, but that's okay. He's a good third line, right?
Hey,
That's
well,
fine.
especially this year, Spec, you're supposedly going to be playing your third line more.
That's what they say. So yeah, I'm not, I don't mind that. He's not the Jamie Benn he once was. Has Jim Neal said that's it? We're not signing him for sure.
No. I think Jim Neal said that, they're kind of leaving it up to him. So, I don't know what that means, but maybe Ben's deciding, hey, do I want, like, some guys, maybe you look and wonder, hey, do I want to try something different, or do I love it? How's his body? Is the wear and tear too much? Who knows? I just had Anze Kopitar in studio here, and he said, man, the one thing that he does not miss is the off season. Like, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of commitment. It's not just working out for an hour a day at the gym. It's basically like a full-time job, working out all the time. And after 20 years, that can become a little tiresome for sure, because you can't just kind of go through the motions. You got to be invested all in when you're doing that sort of routine to make sure you can keep up to it. So,
especially when you're old, you got to work harder to keep up with the young guys, right?
100%.
Anze Kopitar's speed's never been part of his game. So if he slows down, he's in trouble. Jamie Benn, I guess that's what I'd have to know. Like, is Jamie Benn all in here, or is he just kind of at the end of things? And, I'd have to really know the player before I told you it's a good idea. If you're telling me I'm getting classic Jamie Benn for a year, that I don't mind. Classic Jamie Benn was a good, hard player, a little bit dirty, which I like. Scored big goals all the time. I don't mind Jamie Benn.
Yeah. And so, like, they could look at free agency. What do you make of the goalie situation, and how do you see it unfolding?
Well, I don't know. It is interesting. Like, why Devin Levi that early in the day before you even moved Nurse? Did you know? Sorry?
I think because, Spec, Freddie Anderson, Tristan Jarry are two guys who have injury issues, right? And if you can get a young goalie for cheap, because really, basically, you traded a third for a seventh to get Devin Levi, right? And when you look at the history of landing an NHL player in the third round or the seventh round, we're talking about a 2 or 3% difference.
Yep.
Right? It's not much of a difference. So they said, we'll take a swing and see what comes out.
How's this going to work? You can't put Devin Levi on waivers. They're
going to carry three goalies.
You're going to carry three goalies for 82 games, 84 games. You're going to carry three goalies for 84 games.
Carolina did it last year.
I absolutely think that's a bad idea. I think that's an awful idea. I've never met a goalie or a player or a coach who liked having three goalies at a practice. Never met one. And I've met hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of players and hundreds of goalies and hundreds of coaches. No one's ever said, we had three goalies for a month and a half and it was awesome. Every one of them said it sucked.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny though, Spec? Starting this year, every team is going to have three goalies at most practices.
Well, they have an e-bug, but that's different. You can tell that e-bug to sit in the stands. You can tell that e-bug to come out at the end of practice to save your backup from facing extra shots. If you've got three NHL goalies, you can't tell one to sit in the dressing room.
No. They'll be on the ice, right? And they'll come out.
Here we go.
Yeah, I bet you what happens, Spec, is they come out early. They're going to rest goalies. Some guy's going to get a day off here. Like Freddie Anderson at his age, we all
he
know.
can take days off.
Yeah, we all know that. I think that's exactly why they did it, was because it was Freddie Anderson. If it was any other goalie, they probably don't go out and get Devin Levi. But they're like, we think we need 3 goalies because one of them is Frederik Andersen. That's how I view it.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, and what does the third guy do? Does he ever play?
Well, that was my question, Spec. How many, like what type of rotation? I think it might be like a 33, 28, 18 kind of rotation. Now, assuming everybody's healthy, but that's the other thing, Spec. You got 2 guys in the last few years. Like, do you know how many games Freddie Andersen has played each of the last 4 seasons?
How many?
30, 35, 19, 22, 33. So I'm not expecting him to play more than 35. If I do the average quickly in my head, we're talking, that's 110 games divided by 4. Like, the guy's playing basically 27 and a half games per season. That's what he is. So I look
maybe
and
that's
say,
what you do.
Yeah.
We decided, okay, we're going to reinvent this thing. We're going to go 35 for Freddie. We're going to go 30 for Jari. That's 65. I got 19 left. Give them to Devin Levi.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to carry 3 guys around all year long, and 2 of them are going to share net every practice. And I mean, there's a fine line here with Freddie Andersen. Like, I get it. He's got a history of getting hurt. But like, are you telling me you got a guy here that's going to play 35 games and never practice? He's got to practice some. I mean, I don't know.
But you know what's funny about the practice? I've talked to Kevin Woodley about it for years. And he says goalies get tired of practice because in a game now in the NHL, Spec, you might face 27 or 28 shots. And some of them, like, they might only have a few good ones. And you and I watch practice. It's a freaking shooting gallery for 60 minutes. And the goalie's like, this isn't good for me. Guys are coming down 2-on-1s, cross ice crease. They're like, how's that really helping me? So I don't think goalies facing less shots in practice will actually be worse for them because it's the technical work that they'll get with the goalie coach that they feel is beneficial.
Before practice. So they go before practice, then they hang in for, first of all, let's make it clear there's less and less and less practice in the league anymore.
Exactly.
I don't know if Freddie Andersen likes to skate on morning skates or not when he's starting that night, but either way, he stays out for 15 minutes. He comes out early, stays out for the first 15 minutes of practice and calls it a day. And you got 2 guys to go in. I guess you're talking me into this thing, Jay. If the Oilers
I'm not saying I love it. I'm just saying this is what I think they're doing. And I will say my concern, Spec, the risk is Devin Levi isn't that good. Like, none of his numbers scream that he's great. We got to see it, right? And then B, Andersen and Jari get hurt. Then what do you do? So there is and I think, right. Sure. So, and if one of them gets hurt, there you go.
I'd say to you that, any team in the league, when their top 2 goalies get hurt, they're screwed. Obviously, Freddie and Jari have had a few more injuries than other guys, but I would say to you, if Jari's only playing 35 games, he should be able to stay healthy. So, hey man, I guess you're talking me into it. I guess that's what you got to do. I don't know. Like I say, if they go through a whole season carrying 3 guys everywhere they go and come out the other end happy about it, it'll be the first team in my 40 years that ever did that was happy about it. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what's a copycat league, Spec? Carolina just won the cup with it, so that's the new way to do it, obviously.
They did. And you do have to have an e-bug this year, and he travels with you everywhere. And
do you have to have one if you're carrying 3 goalies, though? I didn't think you
we better look into that. I want to think that
maybe you do. Yeah.
Like, I want to like I would say this to you. If Devin, I'm trying to think this through. Let's say you start Freddie Andersen, Jari's on the bench, he's your backup, Devin Levi's in the press box. Can you designate him your e-bug or you can't?
No,
right? I don't think the PA would allow that a guy has to be a player and an e-bug. I think the Oilers will have to have an e-bug, which means they're going to have 4 sets of pads on a row with them, not just 3. Oh, Harry's going to love that.
Yeah. Well, who knows? If it's a short trip, I bet you some guy doesn't even go on the trip. So I could see something like that happening. For sure.
Could be, man. It's going to be different. Or things like, baseball teams will send, if let's say you're playing the last game in Chicago and you're going home for a game in Toronto, before that last game, they'll send their starter home to sleep in his own bed.
Oh, for
Maybe
sure.
do something like that if you got 3 guys. Why not?
Oh, God. Without question, I think they have to do it. So
So I don't know. Hey, man, it's a brave new world out there. Whatever it takes, I suppose.
And lastly, have you heard anything? Like, I got kind of varying reports. I don't know if you talked to anybody in San Jose about Mark Mandulin and what's the expectation for him.
Yeah, I talked. I talked to for about 15 minutes about him was Drew Remenda.
Okay,
and Drew spoke quite highly of him. He described him like a young. Oh my goodness me, Desharnais, like a young Desharnais. Like he's big and he's long. But what he said was that like the mean part and the hard part came better to Vinny Desharnais. He's a hard player, right? He puts you on your rear end. He works you hard in the corners. This guy can do it, but he needs to do it more and more often and more consistently. He's got the ability to be a big, hard to play against physical defenseman, but he doesn't do it enough. He needs to do it all the time. So that will be the coaching staff's job here, is to not, I think we saw that with Darnell Nurse. When he was mean, he was awesome effective, but nearer the end of his career, he wasn't mean very often. This guy's a young guy, so he needs to figure it out early in his career, but that's what I hear. He's long. He can play penalties for you pretty good. And Drew Remenda had quite a lot of time for him. He said he's a good young player. I think he's going to turn into something.
All right. We'll see what happens.
What are you hearing?
I've heard mixed. One guy was very high on him, thinks that he's very raw talent who's got a lot of up potential. Another guy told me, goes, I think at best he'll be as a third pair defenseman. And there's nothing wrong with being a third pair, but he didn't think he had potential to be higher than a third pair. So.
Right. Well, I guess we'll find out. He's been around a little bit, but second team guys always go one way or another. They tend to grow in their second team. Most guys get better when they get to their second team. Let's see what happens with this kid. Russian kid.
Yeah.
So Podkolzin will have a buddy here.
Yeah, well, that never hurts.
Yeah.
Have a good one. We will chat with you tomorrow. We're going to talk a little green and gold as they look to remain perfect.
Unbeaten. All right. Sounds good, Jay.
There you go. That is Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. When we return, we're going to talk about can you win the Cup in July? Some think they can. We'll discuss it next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You want it? We got it. At Harley-Davidson of Edmonton, we have a huge bike inventory just waiting for you to ride. We're not a car dealer. We're your local family bike shop. We are riders supporting riders. Come find your dream bike here at Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail, locally owned and operated since 1980. Find us at hdedmonton.com.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Welcome to the Bro Zone, the ultimate garage setup for checking out the big game.
70-inch TV? Check. Surround sound? Check. Mini fridge fully stocked? A check.
But a legendary Bro Zone needs legendary snacks.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Load up on Alberta's best beef jerky. It's the perfect game day companion when you're watching from the ultimate fan cave.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Jason Gregor isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder with over 3 million raised for local charities. And his Gregor Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Gregor weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Boxing Week is back at the Brick. Don't wait until winter. Get blowout pricing now. Save 50% off sofas when you buy the matching piece. Save up to 25% off bedroom and dining, and save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get free local delivery when you use your Flexity card. And buy more, save more. Up to $500 off select major appliances. Don't miss the return of Boxing Week, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in store for details.
Edmonton, the legend has been reimagined. Check out the all-new 2026 Subaru Outback. With Subaru's legendary symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, impressive cargo versatility, advanced safety technology, and an IIHS top safety pick award or higher for 17 consecutive years, the Outback delivers confidence wherever adventure takes you. Whether it's the daily drive, the mountain getaway, or anything in between, the all-new Outback is built for the journey. Test drive it today at your local Subaru dealer. Welcome to Uncommon.
For decades, the pioneer spirit of Alberta has been exemplified in the chuckwagon racing legacy of the Dorchester family. And today, you can experience it every time you hit the links. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is in top mid-season form. Enjoy the longer days on this historic 18-hole course near Pigeon Lake. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
You may get up early, but more than likely, the team at GS Construction have already gotten up before you, grabbed a coffee, headed to the site, and started their day. So while Edmonton wakes up, GS crews are already underground, quietly keeping things moving, upgrading, and laying the new underground infrastructure for our growing city. If you're the kind of person who goes to sleep with their steel-toed boots on, GS Construction wants to hear from you. We're looking for a maintenance foreman as well as a building and yard attendant. Visit gsconstruction.ca for more.
Dress.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the Gregor special. Enjoy 20% off any regular menu price order. Enter promo code Gregor at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5:28. Gregor Kruger, McClellan with you. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. If you're watching, be sure to give a thumbs up. Say hi to Mac over there. You'd appreciate it very much. Of course, NHL a little quieter today on the free agent front. There hasn't been a lot of signings. If there's any that you missed, the orders, they're pretty much locked up. There, guys, I got a few RFAs that they would be looking to sign, but overall, not much going on. There are still some guys like Kane, Mantha. I think those are some of the guys that names. Alex Ovechkin, obviously the biggest one of the day. Dobush signs a 3-year extension with the Montreal Canadiens. You had the Jake Middleton trade earlier in the day, going from Minnesota to Calgary for Blake Coleman, Oli Mata going to the Wild, and the Flames get a second, a third, and a fourth, starting in a third in 27, a second in 29, and a fourth in 2028. So, and Jake Middleton, who I know last year down the stretch been good, but man, that guy was asked Brock Faber about how much he helped him kind of develop. When you look at the Flames young decor, I could see them seeing how that's a pretty good look. Now, let's go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's and Dollar Cones, baby, all summer long. Download the McDonald's app, and you can order Dollar Cones every day, $1, only at McDonald's. And to discuss, because it's been a busy time in the National Hockey League, the Toronto Maple Leafs, of course, were one of the biggest movers and shakers. David Alter from the Hockey News joins us, also a member of the PHWA. Dave, welcome to the show, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Jason. What's going on over in Edmonton tonight?
Well, tonight, a little Riverhawks baseball and hopefully no rain because it's like we need an arc out here. There's been a lot of rain here for the last few weeks, like record-breaking, crazy. But
you can use that.
In Toronto, there's a lot of excitement around the Maple Leafs. Let's start in goal because goalie's pretty important. Sergei Bobrovsky gets 3 years at $7 million. Now, I know Kevin Woodley and others have said, hey, goalie Bob in the playoffs, legit. Goalie Bob in the regular season, it's been average. So what do you make of the signing by Bobrovsky at $7 million for 3 years?
Yeah, I think it was a move that the Leafs absolutely had to make. They just have not had a goalie that could play more than half the games in quite a while. Like, that's really what it really came down to. And, yeah, Bobrovsky's numbers were not great before. And then, his save percentage over the last 4 years before last year, hovering the low 900s, which is not spectacular. But the playoff numbers are not to be denied, like 914 in the last cup run, 906 before that, playing all 24 games, 23 games with Florida in 2025. You look at the sum of all parts, really, the Leafs needed a different solution in goal. The big frustration really kind of came to a head last year when Joseph Woll kind of had to leave training camp because of undisclosed reasons. And, there were times where he wasn't available at other critical moments that were more important, like Game 7 of the playoffs in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And so all these other things combined that they're like, they've got to do something about this. And so the Leafs feel that if they are a better defensive team and let the offense fly like it used to before last year, then the goaltending will take care of itself. And Bobrovsky will have a pretty easy time of getting north of 50 games as he has done for the last 5 seasons, which is hard to say about any goalie in the NHL, given the way things are kind of going with the tandem phase and everything. Yeah. He's a guy who demands in that even if he's not 100%, and the Leafs just simply haven't had someone like that in a while.
Yeah, well, he trains hard. His availability is definitely up there. There's no question about that. So that's something they got going for them. No question about it. Can you give us an update? Is Max Domi going to play at all, or is he done this year?
We don't know. Like, they've been very kind of cryptic about it. But I think it's because they don't know either.
Okay.
Like, apparently, from what I was told, when the recovery from the surgery happened, it was bad. And then as the days kind of passed, it got better. But at some point or another, Domi was spotted and the Leafs had to make a statement about it because they noticed something was off. And so that's where they said, look, it's bad when they say they're not going to give an update until training camp. And the reason they won't give an update until training camp is because training camp is when they'll do medicals. And at that point, they can decide what the future, if there is one, is for Max Domi. But when you look at all the depth forwards that the Leafs added yesterday, it gave me the indication that the Leafs are preparing, not necessarily going to happen, but preparing for the fact that Max Domi may not be available to them.
Okay. So they went out and we look at some of the other moves that the Maple Leafs made. Jack Roslovic comes in, an Edmonton fan, saw him here last year. He's 20-goal scorer multiple times in his career, really good skater, can be a little bit inconsistent, but overall, I think solid signing. They trade for Nick Paul. I actually like that trade for them. Then they get Teddy Bluger. The one that was a little surprising was probably the $4.25 that they give to Colton Sissons. What do you make of that one?
Yeah. I mean, I had to look and I couldn't believe it. I mean, Colton Sissons being the 5th highest paid Leaf forward is not a sentence I would have ever thought I would say out of my mouth 2 days ago. Like, it really was, oh, okay, well, the Leafs are kind of short on elite forwards out after Matthews, Nylander, and Nyes, and Tavares, of course, took that home down discount, so he's not making that much more than Sissons is. But, yeah, I mean, I think it just spoke to the type of player Sissons is and what the Leafs were lacking, which was depth at the center position and a right-handed depth at center position who has speed. Like when they got Nick Waugh in that trade, in the sign and trade with Marner, speed wasn't necessarily the calling card of Nick Waugh. It's about how he performed in the playoffs. And, you know, the Leafs were in the play like you're in the playoffs in the beginning of the regular season, which I don't think necessarily works because I think they're two different games personally. But in this case, Colton Sissons is a shutdown guy who they are expecting can come out in most situations at certain parts of the game that can kind of take away some of the other difficult matchups that the Matthews and Tavares types are going to get. And it will unlock their offensive ability when they kind of flip the switch and put them in more offensive zone start situations.
David Alter joins us talking the Toronto Maple Leafs. Of course, we're pretty involved. You know, they got Brandon Duhaime, who's going to add them some grit and some toughness, no question. They'd acquired Darren Radish. What about Chris Tanev? You think he's going to play?
The reports on Chris Tanev are pretty positive.
Okay.
Like he had a core injury. Now we haven't been able to see him skate, but it was evident. Like he had this injury that just was not going to get fixed with surgery. And one of the things he told us at the end of the season when we had a chance to talk to him about it was the delay in why things kind of looked so bad was because he was really trying to hold out hope that he could be serviceable for the playoffs. And if he would have opted for that surgery, even if earlier, then he wouldn't be an option. And once it became clear the playoffs were no longer there, that's why he disappeared. Now, he had a couple of head and neck injuries, which were scary at the same time. And that's where the bigger question about Chris Tanev kind of comes in. Because Chris Tanev could have come back, but the concern is, you know, the core injury will probably get healed up and he could be the player he used to be. Like it's different in that regard. What will really be the test is, can he take the hits? Can he withstand the hits after not being around to the point where it's not scary like it was last year and he was being carried off in a stretcher? So the core injury seems to be coming around and that seems to be fine. But we won't really know until he gets into game action and someone takes a run at him or he absorbs a check or takes a hit up high that he's fully recovered and he's not dazed or has to be taken out or go to a quiet room or anything like that.
Okay. And then if you look at it, once they acquired Bobrovsky, obviously they made the trade with Tampa Bay to bring in Nick Paul. And I look at Paul and I look at Sissons and I look at Bluger. I'm like, okay, they got a lot of kind of the same guy, really, right?
Yeah.
Defensive minded, which is never a bad thing, but is, and where do you see Dakota Joshua? Because, and is he a third line guy in this team? Is he a fourth line guy in this team? Can he be better than what he was last year?
So something that was brought to my attention yesterday, which I didn't realize because I didn't follow the West and Joshua's play with Vancouver, but apparently when he had his best offensive numbers was when Bluger was on his line in Vancouver. And so I can kind of see it there where, maybe they reconstruct the fourth line where they're bringing energy and they kind of got that. Maybe Bluger plays the center with, you have Duhaime who can play either the left or the right-hand side, and then Joshua on the left. And maybe that's your energy, can score, can come out and be that energy line that kind of comes out there. But as far as everything else, he doesn't really fit the mold of what the Leafs are trying to do. And all these other guys, what they brought was speed. The one thing that Jim Hiller, the new head coach, has kind of emphasized more than anything else, that you need guys who can skate. It's all going to be about speed and skating. And when you look at the NHL Edge numbers with a lot of the guys that they brought in, they're on the higher percentile of that. So you can kind of see where they're coming from in that. So they feel that they've got more to give than what their role is. And of course, it's interesting because Josh was kind of that holdover from the Brad Treliving era who came in, had a really rough season, a couple of injuries, including a kidney injury, which was very scary, but still got 10 goals in 55 games and still could be a net presence that they're missing. So there could still be room for someone like him, but he's definitely the outlier in what the Leafs are trying to do.
Dave, one last one for you. Do you think the Leafs are done until training camp, or do they have other moves they think they might look to make here? As a lot of people think there's some other trades potentially this summer.
I think that they're not done. I think there's going to be some moves happening. I think a lot of what kind of went into their lap was asset harvesting. Like, they don't need as many center wingers in the bottom six as they need. I think what they had the flexibility to do was know what they can kind of buy in the market right away and maybe sell higher and hope that some other teams that miss out on those first few days of the free agency sweepstakes sees a glaring hole where they kind of have to either unload a top six forward or, you know, a defenseman that they're missing out on, or a team is missing out on, and then maybe someone like a Morgan Riley gets pried loose and there's a better trade to be made right now. The problem is, on those first few days, Riley is going to be seen to some of those other teams as kind of like a last resort option of taking everything once they've exhausted everything else. And so if Morgan Riley does find a new home, it's going to be closer to the end of training camp or a few days from now, just after teams have realized the cupboard in the free agency drawer is pretty bare.
Well, the Anaheim Ducks, man, they're in need of
I mentioned that in my article yesterday. Yeah. That, like, you know, he wants to go to the West. Anaheim missed out. Carlson's gone to the East. And then outside of Jackson Lacombe, there's really a big hole there. So maybe that makes sense for someone like him. The difficulty is, okay, is just getting rid of the whole contract enough for the Leafs, or do they want something in return down in the same position? Because they certainly don't need more forwards, but maybe they can package a top six. Maybe there's a top six guy or another like a higher center that the Leafs need. So, but I'm with you there. I think Anaheim is probably the prime position. Seattle, they're not competitor, but they have a ton of cap space. So that could be a fresh start. He's from Vancouver. It's close by. But again, that's not really a team that's expected to compete for the playoffs.
Dave, great stuff, buddy. We really appreciate it. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks for your time.
You got it. Thanks for having me on. Let's do it again soon.
There you go. That's David Alter joining us from Toronto. Quick final break. We'll come back, wrap things up. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos.
For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Boxing Week is back at the Brick. Don't wait until winter. Get blowout pricing now. Save 55% off sofas when you buy the matching piece. Save up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get free local delivery when you use your Flexity card. And buy more, save more. Up to $500 off select major appliances. Don't miss the return of Boxing Week, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in store for details.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantor. Made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at www.cantor.com.
Look good, feel good, play good. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for listening to Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5:48. We're going to, man, it's been flying through a Thursday afternoon. Hope you are having a lovely day. Big plans for the weekend. Some of you, I know Canada Day falls on a Wednesday. You just decided to take a few extra days off. Enjoy it. Hopefully it's good. Of course, Canada, big game on Saturday at 11. Go to playalberta.ca. Of course, you can get in the game. CFL beginning tonight. We got our World Cup trifecta with Argentina, Switzerland, and Egypt, because those games get going, one later tonight and then two tomorrow. And, of course, a little Canada CFL bonanza for you. So lots to get to at playalberta.ca. Now, let's get to 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC or your furnace. Bundle them together. You'll save even more at legacyheating.ca. Here is the myth, the man, the legend, Cam Tate.
You said a goalie. You wanted a goalie for the Oilers. You begged for a goalie. You lit a candle for a goalie. Well, we don't get a goalie. We get a support group. Now you have 3. Uncle Stan went to work yesterday and came home with 2 more netminders, like a guy who went out for milk and returned with a boat. Devin Levi, a kid Buffalo gave up on before he ever got a real shot. And your favorite piñata, Tristan Jarry. A goalie trio. 3 masks, 3 sets of pads, 1 net. How would that float in Edmonton, a town that measures its self-worth and save percentage? We did some research. Carrying 3 goalies is supposed to be a coach's migraine. It steals practice reps. It kills a guy's rhythm. It's the roster equivalent of 3 people trying to parallel park the same car. But the game got harder, and the headache turned into an insurance policy. Look at the 2026 Carolina Hurricanes. They sat on 3 goalies all year, and it paid off flawlessly. Brandon Bussi came out of nowhere to lead the team in wins, then came on in relief of Freddie Anderson in the Stanley Cup final and helped close it out. 3 goalies, 1 ring apiece. And here's the kicker. Freddie Anderson, the veteran anchor of that 3-man operation in Carolina, well, there you go. The blueprint didn't just win a cup. It's the same math Uncle Stan is scribbling on a napkin in Edmonton right now. So maybe the logjam isn't a problem. Maybe it's the plan. From Montreal's masterclass in hoarding depth to Carolina's championship rings, the 3-headed monster in the crease isn't a traffic jam anymore. And if it all sounds new, it isn't. 1967, Toronto Maple Leafs, Stanley Cup champions. 3 goalies, Johnny Bower, Terry Sawchuk, and Bruce Gamble. The last Leafs team to hoist the thing did it with a crowded crease. Nearly 60 years later, Uncle Stan reaches back into the tickle trunk 2-minute warning.
Oh, man, he's using the Leafs as a comparison. Holy cow, Tater! I think Tater might still be in the sauce from Canada Day, but it's a good point. Hey, Carolina did it. The Leafs many years ago. It can happen for sure, but I look at How many games did the other guys play in 67? I'd have to look it up. And was there injury-prone guys? Because that's, I think, it's a smart decision by the Oilers to bring in Devin Levi. Now, Devin Levi might look and say, "Man, I want to play," and there is a fine line of that. But you know what? If he's going to get a lot of one-on-one time, I could see one of the goalies going down on a conditioning stint at some point. Now you have to agree to it for sure, but I could see one of them going down just to get some time, right? If you sit out too long and all three are healthy, that's going to be the challenge. Like, it's not ideal. Let's make it abundantly clear. But if you have injuries, then it simply doesn't become an issue because guys are sitting out due to injury, not due to having two other healthy bodies ahead of them. So that'll be the challenge. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey guys, what about Claude Giroux? Great face-off guy. Yeah, but you could play him on the wing, I guess. Right? Is Claude Giroux going to be your fourth line center? Be pretty good center ice position, but I don't know if Claude Giroux wants to go to a team where he's your fourth line center. Now, maybe he's your third line center and Dickens is your fourth line center, but I think Edmonton would rather have a winger than another center. Right? That's kind of how I would look at it. So, hey, Gregor, now that Nurse is being traded, is that void as no movement clause? No, not all. He just basically, you agree to waive it for the trade. Once the trade is made, then you go back in. Right? So we'll see. Hey, Gregor, Ben, he's not that good anymore. Let's just scored 15 goals, man. How many Oilers forwards scored 15 goals last year? And he scored 15 goals in like 60-some games. He made $1 million, Nick. Like, honestly, I would have lots of time for Jamie Benn on $1 million contract. Tons of time. Gregor, could you get Tom Wilson? Zero chance. Like, let's just cut that one off. Zero chance. The Washington Capitals, and by the way, I was looking at their forward group today. Oh my God, they are trees. They're massive. You got the two Protas brothers that are 6'6", 250 and 225. You throw in Tom Wilson at 6'4", 230. You got Strome and Dubois at 6'4". You got Alex Tuck at 6'4", 220. You got Ovi at 6'3", 240. Right? Boone Jenner, 6'2", 205. They got a boatload of big, heavy forwards with some skill. Washington has they made a lot of changes this offseason. I think right now they'd be this, on paper, I'd have them as the number 2 team in the Metro Division behind Carolina. They're going to be a low, man. Washington plays Florida. Those games could be awesome. I think Florida is going to have a lot of games that are physical. Tampa Bay, a few others. Should be great. On behalf of Declan and Mackenzie, I'm Jason Gregor. Have yourselves a wonderful Thursday evening. Enjoy the CFL. Enjoy the World Cup. Enjoy the Riverhawks if you're going to the game. And we will talk to you tomorrow. Set up the green and gold, taking on the Lions, looking to remain undefeated. Have yourselves a wonderful Thursday. Let's get to Declan Kruger. Sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good. For professional property services you can feel good about. Get Hire Good. Stable jobs, create stable lives. HireGood.ca. Good night.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Scores from around the majors right now. Guardians lead the White Sox 2-0 in the bottom of the fourth. Braves up 5-3 on the Cards in the top of the second. And the Royals lead the Rays 1-0 at the end of the first 3 finals today. Saw the Pirates over the Phillies 6-1. The Reds beating the Brewers 7-2. And the Rockies dusting the Marlins 14-4. FIFA World Cup action with Spain over Austria 3-0 earlier today, while Portugal and Croatia are tied 0-0 at halftime. Switzerland and Algeria will go at 9. Edmonton Riverhawks set to throw the first pitch in about 9 minutes' time here as they play host to the Bellingham Bells down at Remax. And in the CFL, Week 5 kicking off tonight at 7 as Toronto is in Calgary to take on the Stampeders. Kyle Lowry to sign a 1-day contract to retire with the Raptors. Well, they've also added Kyle Anderson on a 1-year, $3.8 million deal. In case you missed it earlier today, Alex Ovechkin sets to return for his 22nd NHL season with a 1-year deal worth up to $9 million. On I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download